top of the site. He's caught off by Freiberg, who bails his teammate out, going for the plant. Nade will do decent damage, but it will not amount to a kill. And on that, Sticko's gone.
Sticko, the last one remaining, obviously. No real chance of getting this one. He's got no kit. He's got the rifle in hand, and with the money situation after yet another force buy coming in, they should be broken now in terms of money. We won't be only getting much more than $1,900 each. So if you can save this rifle, it'll be definitely an asset for them. Oscar, as the spectator points out, having a great game tonight. 22 frags. Really impressed me so far. The first time I've actually casted him, and it seems like he has been a talent unearthed, and what a time to bring him in. It's actually quite interesting. He's brought him from the FPL. That's how he got his breakout from there.
That's one of the beauties of that league, and I think someone will correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was Exist that said, if not for FPL, would anyone have noticed Oscar? And this was my point. The same thing happened in Dota. You get a guy like Koifka, who came out at like his team qualified for a tournament. They weren't even expected to make it out of like the very first round. He enters in like this little side tournament they do at tournaments. I don't know if they still do, but they did this one. A 1v1 mid-tournament, wins the whole thing, and suddenly he's on the top teams in the world. And is, I think this year, I don't follow Dota closely, but I think he plays for C. Right now, I could be wrong. Someone will correct me on that too. Either way, same kind of story though, right? Like just that chance. He didn't have a chance otherwise, and suddenly he's a scouted talent. So good to see that league showing off some value, but Get Right's going to start this off by taking down exactly that man, Oscar. Not much of a chance that time with just the pistol. And Get Right right now could be the last alive, and he's just going to look for exit kills at this point. He's way back toward the playground. And Nip are all going to exit in that direction, so surely they will encounter him at some point. In fact, it looks like it will be Alu, the one that's spotted. And he's got him weakened. He just needs one more shot with this CZ, but he may not get it. He's going to get taken down. He's got to kill him now. Okay, good. Good choice from Freiberg. We saw him look for that knife, but time was going to run out.
Well, the CTs definitely can buy into this one. They can get an AWP onto Oscar if they so wish. The Sticker will have to drop that. And you can see Simple is actually going to be the one picking this up. That's interesting. He's obviously got... Oh, okay. No, he's not. They're going to be going for the Max 7, and Oscar will be going the AWP. I thought he had a decent spawn towards B. I thought we could take that towards the Monster Tunnel there, but that's not going to happen. Looks like a boost coming into the long A. And once again, Get Right going straight towards B. And it seems like this is the play. They kind of work out what the CTs do, what kind of aggression they're showing, and see whether they can find a first pick here. Get Right there. Just going to be by himself as well in that advantageous position as Ali makes his way towards long, going for the first pick. Oscar, though, decent flashbang, won't be able to do much of that.
He had it perfectly lined up, still does, just barely clips the edge of the rock, so it won't work out, but Sticko's still there, and Ali, focused on one, gets taken by the other.
Nice pick again.
Keep an eye now, and now that we're seeing these quasi-buys come out on Simple, because this is where he can be brilliant if he gets invigorated in enough way. He's playing in a good spot right now with this Mag 7. But he could also get a little bit careless at times like this as well, when they start to slip away at the end of games.
Let's see what he can do with it. It's definitely a viable weapon in that position. Mag 7, when the execution comes in, and the smoke's down and flashes raining in, it can actually cause so much chaos when you're up close and personal with that gun. So, whoever was the man to wield it, I think he was he'd be the chosen one. But here we go. Looks like T's making their way to the B-bomb site. Still have flashbangs, no smoke to speak of. They have a Molotov to flush out key areas, so they come down to entry frags here. And raw skill, and there he is. Simple gets taken down by Get Right. Great opening start, but Angel and the CTs are going to be replying back in as well.
Get Right's going to push further down toward that slope, catches Kutcher just through the edge of the smoke, trying to retreat back to jungle. He'll get another one on Oscar as well. That's 3 kills for him total. And the last one from Freiberg will give them round 13. So forget the fact that they lost control in the first half. So far, everything looks coordinated and controlled in the second.
As I said before, NIP didn't really have the utility to get into the bomb site correctly. You can see they had one spot Well, actually had 2 smokes going in as it went in. It wasn't too bad, but this came down to that raw skill of GetRight, getting into the bomb site, making things happen. Now they can get the double ops, and Hellraiser's taking the choice to go from pretty much a full eco here. Sticko does have head armor, and so does Oscar with the Max 7 as well, but they just kind of keep their money around the 2k mark to ensure they have a full buy next round. Forrest open things up, and there should be another round secured as the frags do rain in. NIP taking 3 of those. It's just going to be Kutcher and Oscar left, and Oscar with the Max 7. Lonely towards connector, won't be able to do much of this.
And Oscar, as you say, won't be able to do much. They're going to take the doorway out with the nade. Make matters easier to try and enter upon his position. They know he's there, but he's in a good spot with this mag. I'd expect him to maybe get 1 out of this. Don't know if he'll be able to get 2, and actually he goes so early that GetRight's just staring it down. Good read by him. That makes it 14 now for NIP. That much closer to the end of map 1. Keep in mind, best of 3. We go to Inferno next. Dust 2 if needed. There's money this time and guns to come out for Hellraisers.
Money, money, baby.
Yes!
It's the catchphrase now. GetRight playing out of his mind the last 3 rounds. He's on 27 kills. I think he's had like 3 or 4 kills like pretty much in the last 4 rounds, but there we go. He's been playing very strongly indeed. Now we're going to have the double AWP set up again on the T side. Alu and Forrest could be rocking with that. Oscar's got the AWP as well. He's going more aggressive on long this time. He's going to have backup still. That has worked out for them, but no NIP players going towards that area. It looks like they're just going to be holding very passively for these aggressive pushes coming in. Exist knows his men towards short, but not going to be committing to it just yet. Angel and his teammate as well pushing towards water. They're actually going pretty audacious here with their plays.
Shots coming in from Angel. Try to rattle off through the tin to take down any HP that he can, but he doesn't actually spot a target. Forrest is the lowest of all. He sits on 53, but has the boom boom stick. So it only takes 1 shot for him. And they're going to push Angel. They've actually got a great crossfire here, so Simple's able to pick up 2, and they have full control of that construction position, even though they lose Angel's HP down to 6. GetRight could be the problem here as he still sits at the other end of that short pipe. He's actually allowed them to cross back over by not keeping his attention on it, and that nade bounced almost perfectly in front of GetRight's face. Down to 63 HP he will go, and things looking better and better here for Hellraisers as time ticks down to the 30-second mark.
NLP need to decide whether they think going into this bomb site is actually going to work out for them. A CT is pushing behind. It's going to be Sticko with the lurk here. And there it is. It comes in, takes down Alu as well, and that pretty much secures the round as well. As we say that though, Forrest and GetRight picking up a frag themselves. 15 seconds remaining, no bomb in hand. And now Sticko still coming in from T-spawn. And
I don't think Sticko realized that he had the bomb, so he gave up that position, because he could have stayed in the corridor and held that off, but he is still going to rotate onto the short pipe. He's in a good position, and there it is.
They seemed to die there. I think they knew it was coming. So trying to get out as quickly as they can. Luckily, they do die before the time runs out. We can see the bank of cash for NIP still very strong. CT's able to get the double AWP set up themselves now, so maybe this isn't over just yet. We feel like NIP are on the cusp of taking it, but it seems like Hellraisers still have more in the tank to go. Just going to run over 25. 3 men heading towards the B-bomb site. It's going to be one of the AWP players as well going towards upper. It's going to be Simple. I'd assume he's going to go more aggressive and actually go for the face towards the monster tunnel. And the B-rush actually coming in from an IP as well.
Oh, Simple, not common. He misses a shot like that. Forrest makes him pay for it as well with the AK, and they'll go on this. No hesitation. Nips in the site already, and it's Freiberg again with another entry. Swift so far on his T side tonight. As Angel, though, he can take down the bomb planter, not before the bomb is planted, though, so NIP has a great chance. In the post plant, great shot from Alu up close, takes down Sticko, and that will bring it back to a man advantage situation as it's just Oscar remaining. And had he been able to pick up that kill in reverse, had Alu gone down, it might be winnable in for Hellraisers. Now he's got to fight his way back in, tries to go for a very, very fast shot, to be said. Onto Forrest, won't land it, and that's his invitation to run away and hide.
Yeah, that one shot was his only opportunity to have even a sniff of winning that round there. And Alu does finish the job off there. Alu and Forrest with the AWPs, and Forrest going into that bomb site. That was such a key frag onto Simple there. Simple actually had a pretty nice position, and he misses the shot, and Forrest makes him pay for it. As we go into map points here, after winning that last round and losing that one, Hellraisers only get $1,400 going into round number 26, and then what a round it is. And you would assume this is where NIP close things out. This is obviously the prime opportunity to do it, but never take anything away from these Desert Eagles of Hellraisers. Looks like they're going for a very simple B play once again. Just want to keep it simple and get in there as fast as they can. Freiberg's will be leading the charge here, and will he be able to get this opening frag? It gets flashed off. The CTs have got numbers there to actually counter this.
Oh, great shot from Freiberg again, though. Another entry kill for him this evening. He's going to look back towards short as well. He knows they have to be there. Angels gets to pick up 2, though, before they answer it. But once again, Alu up close and personal, will take back Sticko. Not before he brought it back to an even keel, which means it's Oscar again in a 1-on-2, and this time they've got no information on him. He's got the bomb down, and this could actually favor him. It's a shotgun to play with. Bomb was flung forward enough that he could actually use it in this situation, but Forrest isn't even going to face him. He's going to grab this and sneak out the back door. 56 seconds to go. And he'll have lots of time to beat Oscar to A. Smartly, Oscar's going to chase immediately after him, not take the long rotation. And he's swapped over to the M4 as well.
He hasn't got a kit though, so he needs to work faster. The bomb will be going down. You can see he's reacting to it straight away. He needs to find this kill pretty quickly. Forrest actually going back towards the steps.
I knew it based on his plant position. There's a shadow drop there. There's no chance you're going to beat him when he's in that position. And Oscar can pre-fire that all day. I knew when he was planting here. I thought he was going to go to the bank stairs and try and catch him in transition, but...
Oh, when you plant like that, just go towards long, you've got the AWP. You know the CT's got to do massive work to even try and kill you. And he decided to go for the jump down the stairs, like when he had no intel on the CT whatsoever. So that's a really ballsy play by Forrest. Does not pay off. They still have money in the banks. CT's still going to be struggling to buy into this one. The Oscar, the hero, with that big deagle kill. This is a really questionable play from Forrest. He was scoping it as well. He expected him to be there, but it's just like gave himself such a disadvantage. And there we go. It's going to be round number 11, going towards Hellraisers. And NIP still on map point right now. CT's economy is still not stabilised. 2 Famises on Sticko and Kutcher. They're going for that aggressive play, and that's Angel giving away the first frag. 3 players waiting for him. And Oscar now with the AWP needs to find this frag.
He's got it. Oh, he clips the edge of the sign. That's so unfortunate. He saw his foot for sure. The nade's going to go just far too far to the right. To go back to what you were saying as well, that's only Oscar's 24th kill. We already made mention of, I think about a handful of rounds ago, that he was on 22. Yeah. And the point I make with that is that it's been a well of dry ice lately for Hellraisers. They haven't been able to get those kills. So as you said, Nip's got a lot of money and they're still struggling to buy. It's not the same situation they had in the first half where they're in a position to break NIP right away. And when they're on map point already, that becomes a lot bigger issue. Simple's got a good boost going on. That doorway's open, so anyone who dares walk down the corridor will be spotted, but they're going to jest that now. And Freiberg's just going to put himself in that cubby, so he'll hear anything going on in that B site.
So the T's haven't really got positional control as a team right now. They're spread out pretty thin across the map. You can see Alu with the AWP. I assume he's going to be trying to do some sort of distraction play over here. Maybe smoke off a key area, find a pick towards A, and then they can do this smoke execution onto B once again. It's worked out pretty well for them so far, but the numbers towards B are pretty strong. Sticko waiting there with the Famas, and you see now Alu still making his way up long. He's trying to find a first pick just to peel away one of the CTs from B as he makes his way in now. Will he be able to find anything whatsoever? There's no CTs there at all. And this call needs to come in because right now NIP are committing to the B-bomb side.
Simple in this smoke. Could he actually make this work? He spotted. Freiberg absolutely saw him, and he makes him pay for it. Bomb also gets dropped, and it lands right at his foot, so he'll grab it and immediately go for the plant. Watch the flank coming in, though. Oscar's there. He's going to get the shot already, and it's down to Get Right and Alu in a 2-on-2, both low on HP. In fact, all 4 of them are, as Oscar gets Get Right. But can Alu's positioning from the window make this work? He can't see the bomb in great fashion, but he does spot the head. They're low enough he could wall through it. He's going to go for the first shot instead. He's still holding this, Oscar. Fire into it, but he actually goes for the knife to drop down, and even though there's no kit, Oscar is going to clutch yet another round, and it will go to 15-12. Hellraisers live on.
That's a really scary play for Oscar to make. He's got 14 HP. He knew he didn't have a kit there, so most players, when he got the call, the AWP's in towards upper, you think, okay, let's go for the full defuse. Because he didn't have a kit, he really didn't have an option of that. Goes to the fake, Alu tries to jump out, and that's really perfect play. And another one-on-one clutch that goes in favour of Oscar, playing out of his mind the last couple of rounds, and it's going to be frustrating there, because Alu got onto the A-bomb site, and I guess the problem was there's only like, what, 10-15 seconds remaining, and there's no time to rotate. So he's got the call off. Okay, the full stack towards B, but you guys have no time to actually come back here, so you're going to have to go in, and I'll try and backstab going in. Does manage to find a kill there, but unable to draw this one out as we go into round number 28. They're going to have 5 rifles still. They keep getting the bomb down, so the money's not going to be too badly affected. CT's still struggling. Famas they're not making these rounds clean. They're going out to one-on-one, so they need to make another clean round here, break the economy of NIP, and I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to overtime here potentially. This is a huge round now. Sticko backstabbing. T's aren't going to be aware of this as well, but they have got one player
waiting for
this. Freiberg waiting for it, and he should get the kill here and open it up for NIP. There it is. Nice little headshot from Freiberg, and another opportunity to take these rounds, but it's been a problem again. NIP find these first frags. It's just that final execution. They can't get it over, as Oscar's going to step up once again and gets the first pick onto Exist, and the 4-on-4 comes to fruition once more. Oscar, the MVP for Hellraisers, I think, this game.
Absolutely. I'm very impressed, considering this is the first time we've seen him. I want to see him on a LAN. A time will come when that does happen. Won't be at the major, of course. They didn't qualify, but look at all the plays that are coming in now as Kutcher trades with Alu, gives it back to a 3-on-3. Simple's going to come up massive when he's needed. Never discount him. Oscar's outshined him this time, but 2 kills now puts them in a 1-on-2 against just Freiburg, who does have a decent position to play with on that ramp, but that flash comes over, he's forced back to the pillar, and they can actually set up a crossfire onto him. He finds Simple first, and it's down to the 1-on-1! He can win it right here, right now, Freiburg, but it's not, it's Oscar! Of course, Oscar the Grouch is not going to let Nip smile today.
That's 3 1-on-1s in a row that he's won, with a Desert Eagle and low HP. How did he win that situation? You can see he's on such... Freiburg does what, like 90 damage to him? How much HP is he on? 7. So he somehow wins the round once again with the Desert Eagle. He's just going bananas his last 3 rounds. All down to Oscar, keeping them alive in this one. They've broken the economy of NIP finally. A real chance now to take this to overtime. It's more of the quasi-buy from NIP. They're going for the straight-up B rush, and they finally have full M4s here. Only going to have 1 Famous onto Angel.
They've won 2 Force Buys already this half, and they've already got the trade kill from Forrest. They've got the trade kill on Simple. They're taking the men down in B. They've actually got the man advantage. Kutcher's gone, and it's left to the new boys. Sticko, and here we go again, Oscar. But he's smoked out of the sight.
Surely not. Not 4 times.
That third eco, if this happens, and that fast play from NIP, just being in a great refrag positions could be the one overwhelming factor in this time. As he goes once more for the deagle. He aims for the op. He hits Exist midair, who tries to bait out the shot, but there's no one to look for the trade kill as a result of it. It's going to stay in this 2-on-2. Oscar's going to try and bait them out. Actually doesn't tap the bomb. I think he tempted to, but just couldn't land on it. Now he's got to hold them off, but they get him down. And that means Sticko's stuck on it. It's ticking too fast regardless. 16-13. Great game, has to be said.
Yeah, absolutely. That was exciting. High-octane action, Matt. Oscar, we wanted to see what he could bring to the table. Oh my god, that was a very impressive performance. 3 huge clutches towards the end there. Unfortunately, not going to amount to anything as they don't manage to take the map, but as an individual display of talent, I'm impressed. I'm ready to see this guy land, like you said. I want to see what he can bring to the table. Fantastic stuff from him, but like I said, exciting game. NIP just getting over the finishing mark there. They won that round again with the Force Buy. And the Tech9 is prevailing for them towards that B bomb side. Seemed to be their favourite area to go to. I don't think they actually planted towards A at all. They got either working picks or going into that B bomb side of those smokes again. So yeah, last round works out for them, and I think they just get through very narrowly there. Going to be sighing a breath of relief there. Yeah,
absolutely, and you're dead right. A lot of B pressure from NIP. 3 Force Buy wins. There was a Force Buy. There was a point where we won. There was 3 Force Buys in a row. It was NIP, then Hellraisers, then NIP again. But that's impressive stuff. We'll take a break. I think we need to catch our breath. We could talk all day about that game, but really, I mean, again, Oscar stood up big time. Yep. Simple was there when he was still needed. He didn't have the same sort of star performance, but this is why I like Oscar with him, because now they've got 2 members that are just going to be explosive.
Unfortunately for Simple as well, the times we were watching him, he did miss some crucial shots as well. And the fact like the AWP play on B with the AKs coming in, pretty much a sitting shot in front of him, and that was the kill. He got taken on by Forest, and then a couple of rounds like that for him. But like you said, definitely not a bad performance from him at all. But Oscar, I would say MVP material, but get right as well. He also got 30 frags, great lurking play, great clutches from him as well, good opening frags, and strong performances across the board. NIP take the first map. Was that 16-13?
16-13. We go to Dust 2, or rather, no, excuse me. We go to Inferno next. Dust 2 if needed.
So that was Hellraiser's pick on the pass, and now we go into Inferno, NIP's pick.
Knife for sides.
Knife for sides. I do favour them going on to that one, but who knows if Oscar can bring another performance like that out with the clutch plays bringing in. Those rounds are so important.
And Oscar's been upping, but we'll see if Simple's T-side up on Inferno actually always used to impress me. It was just one of those things. He was like, him and Guardian were like the 2 guys that could pick it up and have an impact, specifically at Banana. They were both really good at pushing through smokes and finding a shot at anyone playing aggressively. So you never know. There's a chance for Hellraiser's T-side, but like you and I both said, we'll take a break, catch our breath first, and we'll come back with that map.
Jag tyar inte. Jag kan inte ladda några bilder på Tinder.
Försöker googla på täter, men wifi når inte hit kalljudigt.
Sitter du här och smygasurfar? Du vet ju att vårt wifi inte räcker till om alla ska surfa samtidigt.
Nej, nu är det vi som får till Amerika. Där ska det finnas wifi i överflöd.
Nu så var. Nu får vi snart wifi så det räcker till alla.
Kom hem, kraftfullaste routern någonsin! Äntligen ett wifi som räcker till hela familjen!
Stanna båten, Karl-Judith!
Hi, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the C Sports section where the crisp shots just never stop. As we can see, both players look extremely concentrated and hungry to win. In fact, they're practically starving. You can see that Riktig Tuna is a bit intimidated by Riktig Grova's crispness, but we all know that it's not always the size that matters, it's the shots in the end. Damn, man, that was tasty.
Jag har fått äran att presentera en alldeles förträfflig hamburgare av ypperligaste kvalitet. Jag ger er Maestro Classic. Åh, vilken skönhet.
Eu sou PokerStars.
fire makes the city look so bright. Close your eyes and just stay tight. We have to go. Stay with me while we leave. Don't worry, just believe me. This journey will relieve us. Stay with me while we leave. Stay with me while we leave. Don't worry, just believe me. This journey will relieve us. Stay with me.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
Oh, it's good. I don't even know what that voice is.
I don't know what that is. It's
I
one
don't
of your
know.
weird voices that doesn't make any sense.
It's kind of like a Scooby-Doo, but it wasn't really because I'm not good at actual voices. I just kind of make them up. That was a great first game.
That was a fantastic first game. What a way to kick it off here.
Yeah.
Quarterfinals, Frag by Masters, and we knew it was going to be a good game, but I didn't think it'd be quite that intense towards the end. Look, the NIP got themselves a decent bed of rounds, and then Hellraisers just had something left in the tank, especially Oscar. 3 one-on-one clutches in a row. Just unable, they had to force NIP onto the force buy and unable to capitalise on that one. And NIP get through by the skin of their teeth, it felt like.
It was close. That's unbelievably close. It was Hellraiser's map choice, and statistically, according to Strafe, which you can download on your phone, it's a cool app. It's got lots of stats, but we're using it for the maps. That was actually the best map that NIP had in the last 3 months at major events. So impressive that they took them that close. Someone tweeted me as well to say that they've been playing well as of late. They beat Envious and Fnatic last night or something along those lines. That could be wrong. I was reading Twitter very briefly between the two games. But either way, it's been a good run of events for Hellraisers. That said, lose this next map, and they will be out of Fragbite Masters Season 5. NIP win this next one, they'll be through to play TSM in our next best of 3, and we go to the second best map on their list. It's Inferno.
Yep, I think this is a map I definitely do favour NIP going onto it. But the thing is as well, they've just got... Hellraiser have got 2 really scary players on the server right now. Oscar and Simple, if they even still on the T side, their AKs are pretty impressive so far. Oscar's Deagle play especially has been nuts. So if he can kind of bring those performances out, who knows what could happen. It's obviously going to be a knife round going into this one. So
yep.
I think the CT side will be very important. I think if NIP can get that, it'll give themselves some little bit of confidence maybe. We know they like to go pretty aggressive on some rounds. They can push towards Banana. But I haven't seen them play that much on this latest patch. And whether they actually go for their full aggression down towards the bottom of Banana, that'll be interesting to see what they actually bring to the table within that. Like we said recently, we haven't actually casted them that much. As in,
this is only the second match. Last night was the first time we've seen them since I've been in Europe, and I've been in Europe since August 4th. Because they just haven't been at any of the events that I've been at. You saw them at least at Gfinity, I think, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
I did actually cast them at Gfinity. Yeah. Did very well, actually. Got 2 maps off Fnatic, and able to... They're actually 2-0 up versus Fnatic.
And lost 3-2.
And lost 3-2. So it was gutting scenes for them. Like, they looked really strong on those first 2 maps. I think it was actually Inferno, maybe one of those maps they took. Either way, Inferno's a map I like on NRP. It's one of the ones they can do very well on. Expect to see auto sniper potential from Exist when they get rolling. He likes to bring that one out towards the top of mid. And that could be interesting to see what they can do. It's going to be a difficult affair, though. Hellraisers, some of the players tonight are firing on all cylinders. So the clutch, I think the clutch is going to be a huge factor going into this one. It seemed like a huge amount of 1v1s coming in. And Get Right winning a few. And Freiberg as well. Just thinking about that Tech 9 round he had. Yep. The second after losing the pistol, he comes back with a 5-man round with the Tech 9, 3-on-1 situation to finish it off as well. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, entirely impressive. I didn't, excuse me, I didn't actually see the final headshot percentages, probably on HLTV by now, or someone will have it. So I didn't get to answer that. I wanted to tweet it out, but yeah, I'm excited to see how this map goes down again. Knife for sides though, and if NIP start out on the CT side on this map again, that was the interesting thing, because we saw them go up 7-0 on Overpass.
Yes.
But the rounds were kept close, and because they were kept close, their economy got broken very quickly. It actually came back to 7-7.
That's true, and then they won the last round, bringing it 8-7. So after such a strong start, I think 8-7 was a disappointing result for them. They thought they probably could have got a lot more than that, but either way, they win the first map, kind of rectified some of the errors made earlier on in the game. This is why I keep wrecking me tonight.
Get wrecked, mate.
But yeah, how are you feeling? Do you want to give us a prediction on the score, Mark?
Well, I said the 2-1 was entirely possible.
I'll talk about Inferno.
Well, okay, so that's my point, though. If I said 2-1, I would therefore think that Hellraisers have to win this.
Okay.
But Nips won the knife and are starting CT.
How do you know that?
I just know these things.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's got a feeling.
I just got a feeling. Thanks, production. You got my back. I think Nips going to take this 1-2 now. I think it's theirs to lose. And I think that if they can get a similar start on Inferno, now keep in mind it is more an economical game than even Overpass is. If they can get that kind of start on Inferno, they have a chance. But if Hellraisers break them, it's the same story because the utilities on this map are even more important. And they're easier to bait out.
Pistol's going to be huge. Because if NIP lose a pistol, you know they're going to force buy in the second round, right? And that's where Inferno, when it's such a CT biased map and you start losing that economic game and you go into the first gun round without your full utilities, you don't have the incendiaries, all the smoke grenade combo, that's when things can get very difficult for you. So they need to make sure they know they've got the first map in the bag, play the percentages. I would say the force buy in the second round is probably not required. Make sure you just give yourself a real decent bank of rounds going in to the second half here. So we know they've got the stronger side. And here we go then, we will go into it. Let's have a look at Hellraiser's buy going into this round. We've got 4 sets of armor and Sticko with the Glock and smoke grenade combo. It's actually Kutcher as the raid boss as well. He's got the Tech 9 and armor, and there's some damage coming in straight away. A Simple goes down to 93 health, and Exist gets the first pick. There's this emphatic push onto middle. Hellraiser's a pretty dodgy smoke towards quad, and they're going to be pushing straight up mid.
Good choice to wrap though through the arch side because they saw the member fall back on the truck. They'd already killed the one on the left. So this will give them wrap onto the site. Forrest has to hold this pit with all his life, but his life's been drained. Sticko's headshot will take him down. Get Right's there, but not quick enough. Bomb's going to be planted, and he has to play and retake this from short and already dinked down to very low HP. 6, in fact. This Freiburg will do the next bout of attacking. Manages to catch Angel in the site, but Kutcher's got the double up play in pit right now. And I think Get Right knows the situation.
Yep, he's got 6 HP and he's on quad with no kit. 2 players in the same position. They could just make it. This is now it's actually viable to play 2 1-on-1s because all you need to do is just draw them out as long as possible. They know he's low HP and they take the round on the board. That's what you'll see a lot of T teams do on Inferno. They try and keep it simple. The smoke didn't go down too well towards the quad side, but they were so fast it didn't really matter. Getting their first pick, getting up there, wrapping onto the site. The retake was very difficult there. We saw Forrest struggling in the pit. Did manage to get 1 kill, but it wasn't enough. And it's going to be pretty much full SMG buy here from Hellraisers. He's going to have 1 rifle on Sticko. Simple with the CZ. And you can see, like I said, NIP will be force buying into this one, but not as heavily as they normally would. You can see Forrest taking a full eco here. He's got a Zeus, in fact, so it's be interesting to see what he brings to the table with that one. Alu going for that Deagle headshot down towards middle. Gets punished for it, though. Now Forrest set up with that Zeus towards the bottom.
How are those flames not hitting him in that corner? That was impressive. But this is fun. We're going to see the Zeus come back out. We haven't really seen as much of it since the nerf. The 0 kill reward, $200 investment now instead. We did see Stockholm was the one tournament where it was still unnerved. Liquid won a round with a $200 investment on Cobblestone by getting Zeus kills. Nothing was using it like crazy. And Nothing actually said, we've got plans to use it at the major. They're not going to necessarily have those if the economy stays the way it is. We'll see, though. But it works. That's brilliant from Forrest. He'll take down Kutcher. I still love the yell that you make when you die to it, too. It's the most pansy yell in the world. Either way, they're going to go for the wrap strat. Still getting closer to the site, and Oscar's going to find Forrest as he's unaware that they've gotten that close, but Alu's coming out from behind. And it's 1 Deagle to the back of Hellraiser's Angel. Seems like a paradoxical statement to have an Angel from Hell, but it's going to give them the kill they need to make it 3 versus 3. Bomb goes down. Simple still got pit control, so it's not like it's a done deal for Nip to make something of this. And they may actually slow this off with the Deagle and armor in hand.
All NIP really want to do here is try and make Hellraisers die with the bomb. So they're going to try and just keep them in that bomb site, not allow them to exit. So at least it's like they'll lose rifles here and lose money. So you can see NIP not going to be facing the angles here. They don't want to go in and actually lose their guns. They just want to try and ensure that Hellraisers do go down with the bomb. They're going to be pushing off now. They know they need to get out of that situation. They're pushing off, and this is Wolf Freiberg. He wanted that, and and he gets the first pick. Oscar takes him down, though, and they'll get right trying to come in and pick up the remains there. And so 2 players do survive the Hellraisers, and they do get right in the end as well. So they do manage to get out successfully, and you'd assume this is pretty much a full eco now for NIP. Maybe a couple of P250s. We have a little replay of that Zeus play there as well. Really nice, well, really well done from Forrest to pick that one up. But headline is Hellraisers now do go in with 2 rifles and SMG on Oscar as well, and he can have Angel as that recon player going into positions first. I know it's a full eco, and it just means he can go into positions first and not give away a rifle. And Sticko's going to go in for that early banana control as well. It's a 3-man stack towards B from NIP, so maybe the wrong position to go, but considering the buy, anyway, it's going to be safe, really.
Ooh, get right, almost caught. Didn't exist. Playing this very close angle, goes for the flash. Peek instead, but it's Angel to get him. It's followed up by Freiburg, so at least they get the 1-2 punch. And with a 3-man stack still on B, they're going to go for the boost as well. They could still catch Hellraisers out, but they've fallen off Banana. They know they haven't found a clean entry, and there's no need to overplay the site. They're hoping now that all they've done is force rotations, and in some effects, they've got the same result based on the fact that it was the stack, but force getting down simple means that they're still going to have a disadvantage trying to work even in onto the A site. Jumping through, Forrest hits Oscar midair, has to go for the reload. That allows Kutcher to get the kill, but Halu's played this kind of cleverly, not re-peeking it. It seems like a bait play, but what it does do is catch Kutcher off guard. And now with that kill, NIP is surely in a position where with Sticko stuck in Graveyard, they can just dig it for him and let the round go into their favor.
Yeah, Forrest doing some huge work there, and like you pointed out, Alu with a very clever play there. As soon as Forrest died, you'd expect him to reface that and try to get the frag play. He actually just wanted to be the snake in the grass, waiting towards a pit. The T's didn't expect another player to be there at all. He picked up 2 Deagle frags, and that's a huge one for them to pick up as well, because the T's still can buy into this one. This is the important round now. You can see Get Right with the Mac 10. I'm not sure what his plan is without repping. He's going to be going towards Banana once again, but Oscar has got the AWP and should find a frag here as Alu just runs down middle trying to get some nade damage off. They weren't expecting the AWP to come into play, and now then it's going to be Get Right falling back. Did get spotted towards the B area. Hellraisers is definitely the advantage here. Not much utility to play with now. It's going to have to go purely on frags as they try to enter a bomb site.
Get Right took a good amount of damage from that grenade as well. 64 HP. Angel gonna get closer to that yellow car position, try and get some more banana control. Bombs back toward the apartments though, and T-side apartments way down below the alt-mid position. Also, by the way, did you notice, and I don't know when it happened, they patched the minimap on this map. You can actually see the L corner at the bottom of Boiler in the apartments now. That never used to show up in the minimap. It was just a black spot.
Oh, yeah. Well spotted, Matt.
Thank you. I look at that minimap way too much in my life.
This is going to be an interesting position for Forrest. Should be able to find a couple of frags here, but Sticko takes him and hits him to the punch, and Exist now gets taken down as well. And this is a round looking like it's going towards Hellraisers. Get Right just with the Mac 10 in the pit. Not going to be able to do too much of this. Needs to find his early frag and pick up an AK.
Good shot from Get Right, holding onto the pit. Needs to hold onto the pit. So important in a situation like this where they have to now retake with a rotation from B. And it would have made that a 2-on-2 as well, which would have been a winnable situation. That miss from Oscar, though, means that if nothing else, Freiburg has an op on exit if he doesn't fancy his chances, although he's got a good chance. With Sticko so low in the pit, he'll Molotov off to the left. Sticko's playing in behind the truck right now and shows his face to take the face off Freiburg. Well done, and Hellraisers now with 3 rounds.
Yeah, that boost from Forrest I thought was going to go massively for him. You know, the teaser was crawling up middle perfectly. Sticko actually showing some his own display of talent there going forward. Picks up Forrest and gets a nice frag on Freiburg towards the end from the truck as well. And that's a big round for them to bounce back into. NIP going to be forced buying into this one as well, so Alu does have enough money to justify an AWP here, and this is going to be really surprising for Hellraisers. Last round I don't think NIP expected it, and this time I don't think Hellraisers will expect the AWP as well. So it's all down to Alu. Can he find his first frag? And there it is. Gate down Oscar. Huge sculpt to take considering the way he's been playing tonight, and Exist now has the opportunity to push down towards apartments.
He does play with a lot of confidence, Oscar, because look at the angles he's holding. Like, who goes to that corner?
That's the thing, I don't think they're expecting the AWP to come in. Like, he probably thought, okay, they won one round, they lost the next one, they're probably going to be eco here. And Alu just to have enough to justify that AWP. And Angel now, full banana control. The bomb not going to be there, though. You'd accept these guys to be going in for not the fake, but the distraction play. They're trying to work out whether they can work out where the stack may lie. Get Right there, taking some big damage.
That's the problem with him seeing that nade come out, though. Get Right just stands there and can do nothing from that nade. And are they going to go for that boost again? They tried to run this. They tried to run this again in B. Oh no, I take it back. It looked like on the minimap they did put Freiburg up. They tried to run it early on. It didn't actually amount to anything because they ended up going A, similar to what they are doing right now. And Alu has a good position to get the first frag. That's his second in the round, but he has to fall quickly. He'll go through Arch. Doesn't even want to take that long corridor that leaves him in the open. And as he rotates to Library, a smoke will come out to cancel that off. But there's still a good crossfire in position right now from NIP on the pit side. With a player on the balcony, that's Exist, and Forrest down below. Although he's only got the pistols to work with over here, it's still a smart choice, and Exist tries to wait it out. He misses the shot, though. It is Alu to follow up, but in the end, it's going to be all Alu. It's not quite the ace I was about to call it, and it is actually. I take that back. He did get all 5. I thought the last one was robbed from him by Forrest.
No, he was very strong that round. Went for that early pick, knew he had work to do, and it surprises Hellraisers. It's a really back and forth affair this entire series has been, and the Force Bites is working out for both teams, and NIP take their second round. We're going to round number 6 now, and they actually have broken the economy of Hellraisers. They're going to be on P250s and some Desert Eagles, and little CZ there chucked in, but Exist now. This is where they get their confidence. They normally push down, they go pretty aggressively in these rounds. They've decided to play a little bit more passively. Alu potentially not really having to face that one. They know the eco's coming in. He takes a lot of damage and forced to go back towards Library. Keeps his life though, that's the important thing. This is the banana control. We're speculating whether it would come into fruition, and it is. They're going to smoke off towards T steps, doing some decent damage towards the T side, but not getting any kills just yet.
Simple is looking that apartment position. He's been spotted already, so he'll fall back down the hallway. They were hoping for an entry point because there was a second man there as well, so they could try and open the floodgates. Instead, Forrest is going to get aggressive. He spots one. That's already taken down by Exist in the opposing side. And the crossfire is working out for everything. Alu steals that one with a nade coming over top of his teammate's head. So that's 6 kills now for Alu in 2 rounds. And again, it goes back to that rotation in the last round as well. Just smartly leaving himself out of danger. But it's all on Simple. 1 on 5 with the CZ75.
Yeah, he's just going to try and find any sort of cheeky frag he can. He can hear Freiburg coming in. Does what he can, but Freiburg capitalizes. 3-3 in favor. Well, ties things up. I was going to say in favour of NIP. That round's in favour of NIP.
You could argue that it's in favour of NIP on the money-wise,
yeah,
though.
absolutely. You can see the money still after that. They pretty much ecoed that round. They're going to be doing the quasi-buy into this one. You want to keep your money at around the 2k mark. You can see Simple and Kutcher dropping just below that, but they're going to be going for head armour, upgraded pistols, a smoke grenade, and a flashbang as well. So I would assume they're going to try and go towards potentially B with that one, probably smoke off spawn, flash in. Looks like they're going to be favouring towards the second mid though, so maybe smoking off towards quad. And looks like actually we're going for the pit smoke. And Ali once again showing his aggression towards middle, won't be able to hit that shot, but has time to fall back here.
Flashbang goes out. Nade on the other side. That's going to do huge damage. He follows it up with the kill regardless. It was the AWP that was always going to win that fight. But Sticko and Kutcher have overwhelmed Alu and Exist. And that gives them guns to work with. They're going to try and push forward onto Forrest. But while he's distracted, you would have expected the repeat to come out from Angel. It doesn't, so Forrest follows it up for 2. And Sticko's left on a 1-on-3. And you would have bet your house on him hitting that shot.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, that doesn't work out. But as we said, that was the quasi-buy from the T, so he definitely can buy into this round. A very decent round in terms of taking money off the CTs there. Forrest doing so well to get 3 frags in this situation. I thought he was going down for sure. Like I said, the reface should have probably come in just there. But Forrest takes advantage and takes it. And that round goes in favour of NIP. As we enter round number 8 now, 5 AKs on Hellraisers. Have got some utility to play with. 3 smokes, 1 Molotov and flashbangs. And get right, just doing that smoke towards the top of car, I believe. And so he's got 2 CTs there with him. It's going to be Alu. Going aggressively, burning alive though, going for the full face there, and he takes down Angel. That's a fantastic first pick now. I know it means the CT can fall back, and they can probably just leave him and Freiburg in that position as they do make their way up towards middle now.
There's too much confidence in that. Molotov thought that they wouldn't peek through it, so not even giving it any attention, any thought at all. Simple's going to go back to address the situation. Alu's still there though, and because of this deep play, they have rotated Freiburg over. There will be 4 on A site. Smokes go deeper. That's going to try and allow them to wrap, but there's 2 players in between the smokes. So when they push through the first one, Oscar realizes it. He'll make that call, and immediately Hellraisers go back and face short, as they've got a man inside the apartments trying to take over pit as well, but it's not looking good. 3 versus 4, and no one is budging from the NIP camp.
45 seconds remaining. They do have control of the apartments as well. Simple needs to find his pick onto Alu. If he does find his kill on Alu, that really opens up the bomb site. But Alu does get his second pick of the round, and it's just going to be Kutcher remaining. Gets 2, does very well with that situation. Sticko now in 3 on 1, and Alu does get his 3rd there. Fantastic play from him. Going like we saw that Molotov go down, and actually pointed out the T's just had so much confidence that working out for them. They actually pushed for it, and Alu actually getting the first pick of the round completely shuts down the play from Hellraiser's there, and you can see Angel not even considering that that's going to happen.
I think Alu's looked a lot. I used to think Michael Lilly, when they had him, was actually the better of the two oppers on this map for NIP, just because he was more aggressive. But I think Alu's really come into his own on this map. I would say he's almost better at this than he is at Mirage, and that was the one that everyone said was his go-to and what strengthened Nip on it.
Well, he's been really dynamic so far. He's been going towards Arch, been going towards middle, and going towards Banana as well. Forrest going towards the apartment, so gets two nice little M4 kills. Alu chimes in as well. It's going to be the eco for Hellraisers, but a nice clean round from NIP. This is the aggression we talked about. When they know the other team's going to be eco, they like to potentially chuck the other team on tilt, go very aggressive, shut it down as quickly as possible, and not even allow them to even get an entrance into a bomb site. Oscar's going to be last man remaining now towards the T-Apps. You see the CT's just trying to sniff him out and hunt him down as quickly as possible. Not really much he can do here, just a PT-50 in hand. And he makes his way towards T-Steps, and it should be Freiberg picking up this frag now as he is holding the tight angle.
Oscar, please get at least one kill. Make it exciting. Thank you very much. Takes down Freiberg. Had a dink on the first shot. Can he get more than that? Not this time. Exist will get him. Apparently they're angry that he got a kill. Let's make sure he's really dead, guys. The game says he is, but I'm not convinced.
Well, now a change of pace for Oscar here. He picks up the AWP. We talked about how strong he was. On overpass is going to be Alu with the AWP as well. Where's he going to go this time? I feel like this battle will be coming in pretty early. Alu's going to be, looks like, facing towards middle. Whether he'll be showing that same aggression is yet to be seen. That smoke towards the bottom. Banana thrown by Forrest allows the CT to go a little bit more aggressive. Oscar's going to push straight through that as well. Gets himself in a little difficult situation though. He manages to fall back. And the CTs do push down Banana and gain control of that. They win the fight for now. Angel's going to be going through the smoke. He wants to do a little bit of fire, but finds that first frag onto Freiberg. It's an equal exchange though, and Angel capitalises. Takes down Get Right as well. Now that B side will be open. They just need to go in quickly as they can. It looks like they may be starting to slow things down though. Smoking off CT spawn. Alex will be rotating in. You'd assume he has to go towards Spools now. They've given him enough time to actually get back into this bomb site now. It's actually quite surprising. It would actually allow him to even get a decent position here, but luckily for them, he misses the first shot.
Alu is just waiting for someone to push through. No one's going to. Bounces a flash out to try and get a repick, but again, no one has taken the stairwell approach onto the B site. They're timid. They're going to put a smoke out instead. Alu knows that that's gone deep, but there's no real chance for him to get to that corner. He uses it instead. Slight gap, but doesn't nail the shot onto Angel. That'll allow the bomb to go down, and with the man advantage and holding onto the B site, Hellraisers might just sneak around away here to make it 6-4, because it's all slipped away. It was 2-1, remember, so it was a bit of an unorthodox start. Either way, Simple's getting closer. No smoke now on CT, and the gap's showing itself for Alu. He finds one, make it two, as he addresses the situation that Exist has gone down, and Simple has to come up big. In fact, he may push through this smoke, but he knows now they're both limited to construction. He'll sit tight. Kutcher's there for the crossfire, but Alu, again, is able to get one. Forrest goes down, trying to stick the defuse. He's going to put the smoke out, but Kutcher's not fooled, and he'll hold on to make it 4 rounds now for Hellraisers.
Hellraisers doing great work at the start of that round. They're not being pushed off by their smokes and allowing the CTs to have that control with the smoke grenade. Angel decides to take matters into his own hands, pushes through, gets the first frag, and more importantly, this is the one. I'd like to see them go straight into the bomb site there. They actually bought their time a little bit, and this clutch from Kutcher, nice play from him in the end. The 2-on-1 situation, he had great positional control of the bomb, finds that first frag before the smoke goes down, and then the spray down through onto Forrest, finishes things up. CT still can't buy, though. You're going to have the double op set up this time. Forrest and Alu running that. So Alu go for that aggressive pick. Forrest going to be there with him in the top of middle as well, so they go for the dual turret to the top of mid. Smoking off boiler room now. It looks like Hellraisers will be going for more of a focus strategy. They smoke off towards quad, and 3 players towards the apartments as well. Bomb and AWP on Oscar. Forrest missing that first shot, but Alu hits one himself.
Forrest follows with the second one, and at least he gets that, but he gets caught up in that pillar just a little bit, still manages to stay alive and hit yet another shot. They've given up pit, but they've taken all the men in doing it. It's a 2 versus 2. It's still not 100% done and dusted just yet. Simple's gonna get flashed. They're gonna push quickly. That allows Get Right to get the kill, and he's trapped Oscar on the site. And I was about to say, it's important that he finds at least one here, because they did have that smoke in front of Library that entirely limited Freiberg.
Yeah, really nice spray there from Get Right to finish things off. Forrest potentially didn't really have to die there. The bomb hadn't gone down. He could have waited for his teammates to rotate in, but he wanted to force the issue. Got pistol from apartments, but good defense either way. They still have the double orbs going into this one. And Hellraisers getting the bomb down. They do get the $800 bonus on top of their $1,400, but not going to be able to buy into this one. You can see a couple of the players with 4K probably can get some upgraded pistols. Alu leading the charge, as Spectator points out. 18 kills for him. Very strong game so far from him, getting some really vital picks. And now then he's going to be facing towards mid once again. And you can see Angel there. Does he dance with the devil? Will he go for the flashbang throw? He does, and gets taken down, punished by Alu, and gets his 19th frag of this map.
They know Alu's been playing aggressive. It seems silly to take that chance, but they do come out with numbers now, and they're going to overwhelm. They've managed to pick up 2 kills, but they've lost As many and one more in the process. And Forrest, though, walks right into Simple. Aggressive bunny hopping. Knows that they're on the short. So thankfully, Freiberg and Get Right are close enough not to allow that slip too far out of hand and to deny a bomb plant. Either way, they're going to have money.
They picked up the double orbs once again, though, so they're absolutely fine there. Forrest once again showing that aggression in unneeded circumstances. He could have just once again stayed alive, but he decided to go for the full bunny hop, got taken down, and exists now picking up the Nova. That's an interesting play, considering that Alu has 7k for him. Obviously has some sort of plan going to this round. What's he going to be doing? A bit, presumably going towards apartments and keeping it nice and close range. Forrest going to be joining in with that aggression towards the bedroom as well. Freiberg smoking off the top of Banana. And Forrest now trying to see what he can do here. Exist, holding that tight corner. He did get naded before. This could work out perfectly for him, but the problem is he's got 3 Ts here to get the frag back straight in. He needs to hit the first shot, doesn't even hit a single one, and he gets punished by Sticko. But Forrest with a great headshot with the AWP manages to take down Oscar and has got the bomb as well. Getting some trouble though, he gets neutralized, and it goes into the 3-on-3. Get Right picking up one of himself.
Yeah, overwhelmed. He couldn't hit that second shot. In middle, they spammed him down, but now Get Right, he still has pit. And this comes into play, as bomb is still committed onto this A site. There's only 2 here. But if you hold this pit, I stress this so much. You can do so much damage late. You can catch them in the plant. It makes it so much harder to get post-plant position set up. So he can literally just sit here, even if he plays passive, and be a huge problem. Although, as we see it now, he's not. He's getting very aggressive and wants to catch the player in apartments off. He does have to worry about short from that position, not spotting anyone just yet as well. He'll fall back and think that he might have overstayed his welcome and take no more chances as Alu's going to cover off arch side.
This is the battle that counts. Simple versus Alu. Who's going to land this shot pretty much determines the outcome of this round, and it's not going to be Simple. Neither player hits the shots there.
Good guess by Simple. Tried to bait it out and then pre-fired on when he peeked. Get Right spots the head of one. That's Kutcher down. Now they're going to walk onto him from short, and here we go. Pick comes into play as Angel goes down. Bit of a miss there, unfortunately, on that nade. It caught the edge of the railing, but it won't matter ultimately, as it is just Simple left in a 1-on-3.
He wants to get out of here. He got 4 seconds there. There you go. He doesn't want to die after the timer.
Well, this is the interesting thing as well, because they brought Freiberg over through CT spawn slowly, but knowing the time was low, he could have gone down Banana, and actually they could have got that gun.
There you go. He does save the AWP there. Got a nice little replay of Get Right's controlled spray here. He really has kind of come into his own since it's up there with the M4. I feel like his spraying potential with this rifle is so strong. Shows it again. Nice, calm, controlled play there from the pit. They get the 9th round on the board, but the scary thing is for the NIP, they know Simple have saved that AWP.
Alu's on 20 frags right now. Forrest is second on 13.
Alu's been getting some really key frags there and actually holding nice, clever angles, not giving away too much, not sacrificing himself, and actually playing some really textbook CS going forward. We're going to number 14 now. Freiberg picks up that first frag, and they get a double as well. Should fall back in this situation now. He's low HP. They've secured the round. Let's get out of there and make the T's work for this now.
Oh, let's see if they read this. Let's see if they read this, because this op could have come in absolutely huge. They were in the perfect position for that play to work, and Simple just slides off his teammate's head too soon.
I've just realised, look at NIP, all their pictures. They've all got themselves.
Oh, you haven't seen this yet.
I just realised.
But do you know where Get Right is? He's the face of the rabbit that Alu's pulling out. Yeah, there's actually a picture of it all together where they line up, and there's only 4 of them. And on Reddit, everyone was like, "Oh, where's Get?" Oh, I see. It's pretty clever.
That's really funny.
It's Nip magic.
I know. I get it. It's funny.
I'm sorry. Didn't mean to ruin it. Jesus.
Now then, 45 seconds. This round still not over. Simple the AWP. If he can find some magic of his own, maybe they can get an entrance on his bomb side. But very passive play from NIP, who's got Alu anchoring towards that arch area. And this is going to be the battle once again. Simple going to be presumably facing the same corner. Not going to be checking the library.
Very smart. First player jumps, baits the shot. Second player tries to re-peek it instantly. They don't quite land it, but very smart play. And Kutcher actually does get the wraparound through arch as a result of it. They now have the AWP to work with, but they've still got Forrest inside Graveyard. And when you push from library, Graveyard, that's when it really comes into its best position. And it makes it now 10 rounds for NIP.
And we go to the final one here. This little replay of Forrest. Couple of kills to finish things off. Great positioning considering the time remaining. T's already had no choice but to try and get to that bomb site. Now then, round number 15, Oscar picks up the AWP once more. He's been a lot quieter in this first half here. Obviously, in the T side, it is much more difficult affair than on Overpass, but he hasn't been lighting up the scoreboard like we saw before. It's been the Alu show so far. And the smoke's coming in once again, but Angel, he did very well from this position last time the CTs decided to push. What's their play this time? Do they chance it again and try and take him down? They're actually going to be standing at the top, just trying to make the T's use their utility. Alu getting that first pick on the Simple once again. So many key frags from him this game.
Angel. He'll be the tasked man of holding on to Banana, or rather trying to take the Banana back away from the king of it. It's Freiburg that gets forced back into the side eventually. That nade didn't really land, so he doesn't lose any HP. Simple gone means down 1 already on round 15, and again, NIP, if they win this, they move on to play TSM. If they knock out Hellraisers, so it's a big task ahead of the Ukrainian side.
Well, the bomb's still down towards T-steps. You can see Angel has got control of Banana, but the CT's still with utility. They've got flashbangs in hand. Smoke's running out, though, so if they decided to do the full execute onto B here, this is probably the perfect play considering the circumstances right now. Smoke off CT spawn, smoke off towards Spool. They have got 2 Molotovs as well, so they can even just flush out CTs or at least clear some areas off. And that's the Molotov coming in. It's going to force Freiburg to the back right, and here comes the execution onto the side.
They've only forced 1 Molotov, though, which leaves Get Right in position from Oranges too, so there's still a crossfire set. They won't be able to spot it from water either. They have to commit to the site, and that's when Freiburg can go for the peak. He'll do so right now. They manage at least to take down Get Right, but Freiburg is going to be there. Only 2, and that's a good answer from Sticko. No smoke off on construction, though, in 5 seconds. Bomb, is it going to be dropped or is it going to be held? It can't. It's over. Doesn't even matter if they attempted. 11-4 for NIP.
So the execution comes in from Hellraisers. Didn't have the numbers to work with. Obviously, the 5-on-4, the CT's not rotating just out yet, and they actually Molotov Freiburg out of position, but he picks up 2 frags there, and Forest clearing up just with 5 seconds remaining on the board. Not really much they could do. They didn't really have time to actually methodically clear out the side properly, and that's a really convincing half from NIP. Actually, after losing the pistol as well, they bounce back and get 11 rounds, and only losing 2 gun rounds there. It's actually a really impressive performance for them, considering, since we talk about T-sides getting a lot more rounds these days since the update, it seems like NIP have had a very strong showing here. We go to round number 2. They'll be starting on T-side this time. And where do they decide to go with it? It was a very simple take from Hellraisers from their pistol, straight up middle, sticking together in the Glock train. And that's normally what most teams will do. Let's see whether they take a more tactical approach here. It seems like they may be doing that as well, because right now, haven't fully bought into this, but Get Right's picked up the smoke. Freiburg with a flashbang. Get Right gets a Molotov as well to accompany him. So 2 utility players going into this one. Freiburg does have the bomb as well. I'd assume that means they're going towards B. That's where Molotovs are most effective. And it's going to be 3 men. Oh my god, Angel with a huge shot there, but Forrest replies straight away. 2 CTs still waiting for that up here at the top there. Forrest, though, the pistol master. You wanted to see it come back, Matt. And there it is! Oh my goodness, that's absolutely massive from Forrest. 3 booty 50 kills, and that's huge from him. What a monster.
This is exactly what I missed from Forrest. He does get downed in the end by Simple, but his impact's been made. Simple, meanwhile, follows up, and we're seeing tons of headshots. Everything's been a 1-tap so far, including Angel's first kill in the round as Freiburg gets back into Simple. It leaves Oscar 1-on-2. And if the trend continues, there will only be, at most, 2 more shots fired. Yet another 1-tap. He does fire a few extra, but he's got it down to the 1-on-1. No kit, and the time is slowly ticking away. He checks everywhere.
Perfect.
And the Molotov.
What are you going to do, son? Get wrecked. Just a Molotov.
He actually could get on that from the edge of it without getting burned, I think, from there. But either way, it's not going to matter.
That's so disciplined from Get Right.
He's even out of the map.
He didn't utilize that Molotov at the start of the round. Actually saved it for the clutch position, and then this means he guarantees himself that round. And this is the replay from Forrest. What an insane entry, a flurry of entry kills. This is the shot that's absolutely nuts. I don't know how he hits that one, but all headshots and an amazing entry there. Comes down to the 1-on-1, but as we said, Get Right with the perfect play towards the end there. And that's going to be a pause coming in from Hellraisers. I assume this is technical. No really reason to pause in this situation. I guess maybe they could discuss how they're going to buy up to this round. Maybe they go for the force buy. I guess maybe could be tactical. They could work out what's their decision to go into this one. As I mentioned before, I prefer to see teams actually save guns for the gun round, save their money for the gun round, and have a really strong arsenal going into this one. But unfortunately for them, considering the scoreline, that makes it 12-4. And they do eco. It's going to ping them to 13, and it could be a very scary prospect for them. Technical pause.
Absolutely.
So it's not tactical. So all that I'm talking about was absolutely nonsense.
Yeah, that's usually what happens when you talk.
Yeah.
Just like when you strat call. Thank God
Led
I was
us to
there.
2 strong victories today.
Thank God I was there to carry us.
I think I dropped 25 each game, so...
I think I dropped maybe 12.
On both games.
No, that's a lie, actually. I dropped 17, I think, in both. I had a sick TK on Inferno, though.
Yep. Rest in peace, Simler.
No, it wasn't Simler. It was that Pete guy.
Anyway, should we talk about the game we're actually watching?
Yeah, why not?
So we talked about the pistol rounds being very important. Now it's 1 apiece. Can NIP convert this into a 3-0? That'd be huge for them. If they do, they'll get themselves onto the 14th round. So Hellraisers need to make that big decision now. Will they be going for the force buy in the second round, going for the Desert Eagles, the 5-7s, and trying to do work with it? It's difficult on a map like Inferno. A lot of tight choke points means you can try and do a stack onto the B side or play very passively onto A. NIP are going to be aware of this, though. They'd probably do like a nice full execution onto B. Molotov, the hell out of everything. You can see that buy coming in as well. Nice, strong utility buys. 2 recon players, Alu and Exist. That suggests to me with this buy they will be going towards B, just because it means you can get in nice close range angles, and the CTs will be force buying into this one. Desert Eagles, 5-7s. 2 players towards the top of Banana. It's going to be simple as well. And actually going to be sending Alu straight up mid, trying to work out whether he can find some CT intel. Does manage to find a player towards Arch, but that's enough to push them back and take away that vision from the CTs. And now they actually have a real opportunity to go back to B.
Good shot from Alu, though. Follows up on Oscar, so the man that was getting that information gets more than what he bargained for. Now has a chance to find out exactly what they're up to on the A side. Does get spotted with a nade out. Only takes a little bit of damage for it, though. And watch out, though. Exist is going to try and push through this smoke, but Angel is playing on the immediate other side of it. They could very, very easily in this situation just push past him.
Oh.
Or that can happen.
Okay.
Okay, Exist. Angel goes down. Now Simple's going to get in the corner. He's got to try and hope that they push past.
So they don't need to push through right now. They've got so much time to play with. It'd be sloppy for them to push through and give Simple a kill, but they actually have done it. Exist capitalizes, and it's not the end of the world. So they get through pretty cleanly, and Exist now maybe getting his 3rd frag. Sticker takes him down.
That was actually kind of smart, by the way, from Simple, because he walked out of the corner, so when they sprayed into it, there was no sound of him being hit. There was nothing that thought, okay, he's not there, but he was slightly blinded, so couldn't respond to Exist. In the end.
So the CTs now, they really want to save this head up into the next one. Obviously can't win the round. And actually going to find the first frag here onto Alu. Only able to get the MAC-10 is the problem. That's why it's so smart to buy these MAC-10 weapons. Going into the next round, it's not too strong really against head armor. So it's almost pretty redundant for the CTs. They have to do some big work to actually make anything happen with that one. The thing is they want to save is the head armor and the body armor. That's the big investment here. And potentially give them the opportunity to get a couple more frags next round. But that's it. NIP get their 13th from the board. And getting in touching distance now of series point, Matthew.
Yeah, I mean, that's the bigger thing here, right? Get this done and over with quickly, although it wasn't that quick on an overpass. It was a great map, actually, if you missed that. Oscar played lights out, but it might be lights out for Hellraisers.
Yep.
If they don't get something rolling immediately.
So they did save 2 head armors and a MAC-10. So they're going to try and spread out the investment they've got there. Going to hand over the MAC-10 to another player. It's going to be Angel taking that one. The other guys, P250 to 5.7s. And this is it. A must-win round for them, really. Like, they can't really do much of it. Potentially NIP going to be going to 14 rounds here. And they'll have a huge bank of cash as well going forward.
Exist pushing to try and control that banana. Will check out the sandbags as well. Spam through. We saw him pick up a rather miraculous kill. Threw it in the last round, but Exist this time will get up on top of the cart. Check out Spool. Spots at least one through it this time. Damage dealt onto Sticko, but Forrest, meanwhile, has gone down to 43. And although there's not a lot of investment, aside from a MAC-10 that they held on to, and armor on Sticko, they've managed to do the greater damage so far. Cancel that out. Exist does find the kill he was looking for on to Sticko, so the man with the armor has perished. Kutcher's still got his. Simple's going to wait on the inside of this smoke. That will slowly fade, and then when it does, he's going to realize there's 3 players directly in front of him, but are they going to be giving them the attention, or are they going to be looking to wrap around the arch? Luckily, they do leave Freiberg back to look and take care and contain Simple, as 2 players do manage to get through.
Lovely.
That was a very pretty shot. One taps Kutcher before he can get in behind the pillar and start dancing, and it leaves just Oscar remaining to exit out of B. Exist won't hear him because he's gone slowly, so it'll be Alu's job to find him, and that'll put us at 14-4.
Well, this is it then. All in from Hellraisers required. They haven't got an amazing bankroll either, so they don't have the AWP potential. They don't have any kits as of yet. Sticko needs to work out how he's going to be buying into this one. He goes for the armor. And M4 combo needs to pick up a kit here. I think they need to have at least one going forward. He actually opts to go for the incendiary. So once again, they need to make sure they're getting this first picker. They probably need to show some aggression towards B and get down there, find the first frag potentially. As I said before, NIP was such a huge bankroll now, can justify keeping the SMGs and just making sure, even if they get kills here, they know how fragile the CT economy is going forward.
So get right very quick into the apartments. That nade coming the other way, that lands immediately at his feet. So poor timing, unfortunately, for him. Down to 46, still going to push onto it with the UMP, and Freiberg burns Angel alive. Simple, though, on the repeak. Does get one, and Oscar manages Alu. Exist will trade that onto Simple, which means they've gotten the pit, and now they've gotten Oscar. Leave it to Sticko. It's going to go to map point here, surely. Series point at that, and Sticko, unfortunately, caught with a nade out. Smoke will deter Freiberg from following up on the kill, at least for now, but he gets closer with this M4. Does he actually read that? I thought he was going to spray into it. Instead, he anticipates that Freiberg is going to try and surprise him by coming out from Boiler. They'll smoke the doorway as well in the anticipation that he may have jumped up on the bales, and he may look to do so still. But with bomb down, it's just a matter of trying to hang on to this M4.
This is it. Obviously can't win this round, and the money so strong on the terrorist camp right now. Wouldn't even be that much of a huge deal. He got 1 kill, and there it is. He does get it, but Exist punishes him for that. Probably just wanted to save in that situation. 15th round, and series point goes in favour of NIP, and I think the CTs get $2,900 going into this round. So obviously have to buy into it. Need 11 rounds in a row to stay alive here, but I think this might be all she wrote for Hellraisers in this tournament, Matt.
Yeah, I think that's potentially...
Say, right?
Yeah.
As I get a scout on Simple, Thamuses and CZs. Auto shoddy on Oscar. And their first frag does come in for Simple, but he gets shut down by Alu there. 4 and 4 definitely does favour the T's, considering the buys coming in. They don't have all 4 players really pushing in too hard. They're waiting for CT aggression to come in as they make their way up Banana.
They'll push further as well as Exist will shoot into that smoke. Reload. Fall back just a little bit, but watch for Sticko. He's going to push into this. He's got flashed in by a teammate. It doesn't amount to anything other than his own death, making the chances of Nip wrapping this up on this 20th round even greater as Hellraisers. Angel waits for that smoke to deploy. He's trapped in the corner. Not much he can do. Walks back out, and Exist will hit him down as well. But watch Oscar. Great position with that shotgun. If he hadn't taken Alu there, he might have gotten both. But instead it goes the other way, and the AWP prevails. It's a 1-on-4, and I dare say it's a 2-0 win
That's the
for NIP.
Yeah, so just Kutcher now.
I don't even think we need to say anything at this point. It's just a matter of letting it work itself out. So it'll be TSM that will wait for Hellraiser's arrival, or rather NIP's arrival, in the next series.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Intel Extreme Masters. Delta Time's debating that he gets it! Oh, it's beautiful! Exist, 2 kills could never be so important. He's gonna go for it behind the fountain. Kerrigan's just gonna charge him down. He's gonna miss quite a few pistol shots. Kenny X, he won a kill, and then he gets the second! Kenny X punches the round!
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the ESL ESEA Pro League. I'm Alex Machine Richardson, joined by Mitch Ubershouts Leslie. If you have just joined us, you missed a fantastic first game. We got to see Titan kind of have at it with TSM over on Cobble. Of course, TSM a little bit of a close one between those guys. It definitely, odds were in TSM's favour, there's no denying that one, and eventually they managed to grind out that win. But our second game of the night poses to be no exception. It's going to be an interesting one. Mouse up against TSM over on Dust 2 this time. So far, we haven't seen too much from Mouse in the Pro League.
No, not really, actually. I mean, obviously, earlier this week, they had 3 games where we saw them get a win against Titan and then a lose against them as well. So, bit of back and forth stuff there as well. That's where, of course, the Nico clip came from, the massive plays.
Be still my heart, be still my heart. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's now every time someone seems to make a big play, you pretty much just scream, please don't do this to me. It's like you already have high blood pressure and it takes a while for it to go back to normal. So, in the meantime, you're just like, please don't kill everyone.
Yeah, and it was genuinely, Lauren was looking at me like, you're making no sense, dude. Like, why? It's because my brain was scrambled by that. But anyway, it is time to jump on into the action. They are currently knifing TSM versus Mouse. It is on Dust 2, and not too long ago, that would have been a redeeming feature for Mouse. So intrigued to see how much they can do. Of course, slightly new roster, removing Spiddy and bringing in Nico has already been quite exciting for myself and for a lot of people just to see Nico play in that roster. He's had the Mouse tagged by his name for a while and now off the subs bench into the main roster. And we saw Spiddy actually playing yesterday in his game against Penta with their strong debut up against Na'Vi. But that is not the story for today, as the knife does get one, and we're going to be seeing TSM start out on the defensive side. Mouse on the assault then into this one.
Now, TSM incredibly good on Dust 2, except last night against NIP. Obviously, it wasn't great for them, but that was Exist and Ali just doing some seriously good work. They smashed Fnatic on Tuesday, 16-3. Last week in the Pro League, they smashed Dignitas 16-3. They're going to be strong on this map, there's no doubt about it. Let's see how they transition into those later rounds now. As Carrigan already getting 2 for his trouble as he's pushed up on long. And, well, he's got to wait for Mouse to pour out.
Where was that call? I mean, Godby went down, and then Chris J just walked straight back into Carrigan. I mean, he'd seen it. He'd seen exactly where Carrigan was positioned. A little bit of a slow one there from Mouse, but looks like they're going to be clawing their way back. Fortunately, Nex's aim a little too strong for Cajun-B. And look, he's done great damage as well. Zipnix and Device been chunked down to about, what, 50 points of health between them. And now, Mouse, they don't have the numbers necessarily in players, but bomb's going in. And, hang on a second. This is going to be a big challenge for him. And, caught in the final seconds. It was Dupree who does catch him. And now, Nico in a 1v3. Looking to make it 1v2. He does so. And, now 1v1, Nico. A man. The myth, the legend, isn't going to be able to do it this time. Dupree, it does shut him down from long, and that's going to be the first round on the board for TSM. Can't doubt the man when he's got a pistol in his hand.
No, Dupree, that was actually 2 kills for him while his opponents were mid-air.
Yeah, that's
both
true.
times.
Yeah.
So they were both jumping up, and he's managed just to take the head clean off. As well as, I think the first kill was 70-odd health and armoured up as well, and managed to clean
New
him up.
hitboxes, that's what Dupree's in love with right now. That's 2 mid-air opponents. You wouldn't have seen that too long ago, but great to see TSM acquire that round with some mid-air fragging, and Mouse straight off that. Look at this investment. They've gone, I mean, Nico off the back of his 3 kills, he's gone straight AK.
Well, let's see what he can do with this one here. Chris J has also picked himself up a scout, and there's Tech9 for Dennis and God-B now. They're going to be pushing towards long here, but will this work out? God-B doing work with that Tech9, and Carrigan drops, and he is obviously that forward player on long for TSM. Chris J now wants to move up a bit. Next in mid, smoking those doors. Got the Deagle Blaze, of course. No other skin for that one as Cajun-B gets a lovely long-range shot on towards Nico, shutting him down. But the AK going to go over towards God-B now. Chris tentatively playing out of pit. And it's all 3 players from Mouse on long, so they're committed to a certain extent here, because Zipnix can always rotate back through mid on towards short. He's going to make his way there now, but they're going to cross anyway through the smoke. Cajun-B spraying, but to no avail here. Next, moving very slowly, actually, hasn't rushed up onto that one. He doesn't know who's waiting on short, and Cajun-B, they'll throw a smoke of his own. Looks like a stack on towards the site coming up, but there's Next doing work, taking down Cajun-B. He's up on the site now, and the bomb is in his hands. We'll try and get it down.
The TSM opportunity for the elevator has been taken away. The boost is not possible, but wow, jumping from Dupree does find himself a frag, an important one at that, because now God-B and Chris J low on health, actually in pretty poor positions as well. The bomb is not ideal for Chris J, sitting long with the scout. Now God-B is going to be challenged up, but Chris J does get the trade, and the bomb, he knows it's not ideal. It could have been beautiful. There's Zipnix and Device, they were right there lining up for him. But fortunately, we do see him go down. A defuse coming in as well. A kitless defuse just to rub salt into the wound, and that's going to be TSM's second.
Yeah, I mean, despite the bomb going down, Godby actually had the Tech 9 in hand, and he didn't cross across that CT opening while the smoke was still up. He stayed back and couldn't do much to help the side. Mousesports had one on the side, one halfway down long, and one in pit, so they weren't set up to really work together as much as they would have liked. The bomb position was okay for Chris J, but still, the 2-stack for TSM on there was good, and this is just the dream start for Solo Mid now. Chris J again going for that scout. Next, with an AK in his hands as well, and Mouse are forcing this one up quite a lot.
I mean, that's crazy. AK and Scout second round, now third round. We've got a Galil, an AK, and a Scout in play. Mouse are not going to be going for the just the pure pistol, the purist CSGO style of play, but instead, oh wow, 2 bullets and a kill. 4K and B, very efficient as Chris J does bite back with his Scout. He's going to catch a glimpse of one as well through doors. Looks like the flash is going to be coming in from his teammate as Chris J looking to go aggressive, just snatches the M4 and is looking to find KGB and does so. That is beautiful stuff. As now Mousesports, they have an advantage. They are all armored to the 9s. And it's just a decision now. Where do they want to go? They know they've got the CT scattered. Those 2 frags in middle have done great work for them in keeping TSM kind of locked in to those positions. And actually, I think Chris J's anticipating this from Carrigan. Oh, does big damage, not enough. As Carrigan's MP9 nets him the kill.
B was the one dispatched to try and deal with that one there. Now, actually, Mousesports smoked up CT, but they didn't make any sort of rash moves towards that B site. They're respecting Dupree's position. Carrigan's moving back now in towards CT, and Mouse are in this 3v3 now. Carrigan went low with 10 health. Got B with the Tech 9 would have been enough now, but he's actually snatched himself up an M4, and they're going to work towards short here. Slowly, but surely, it's just Zipnix on 8.
Yeah, Zipnix could be in trouble because of Nico's molly. Look at this. Throws it completely clears him. He's forced to just be either locked in with this flash or go open. Nico's molly does all the damage necessary. Worthwhile investment for him. That's now all on to Dupree. He's locked out from the smoke. Beautiful implementation of their nades there from Mouse, using what they had to the very best they could. And now the 3 players are going to lock themselves in and make sure that that bomb cannot be defused. Dupree knows it as well. He's just going to go ahead and just hold something towards long. And Mousesports, they have, I mean, they've been applying pressure relentlessly on towards TSM, and by constantly putting whatever they could into their hands, it's netted them at quite an early round.
Carrigan got completely nullified there as well. He was in CT. I don't think his position was overly aggressive, but he got taken out very quickly, and now it's just Dupree, who, of course, he's just sitting inside that long hall. And he'll away. We call it bedroom back in Australia. I'm pretty sure that's not relevant here.
Where's the bed?
Yeah, I don't know why bedroom. I have no idea why. It's just something that it's. Just
I'm fine with.
It doesn't look exactly homely. It looks like a really average B&B in a third world country. But
I wouldn't want to stay there. I'll be honest. But maybe that's just what you Aussies are up for.
Open roof experience, right? You can see the stars
you
at
can sell
night.
it. You're a salesman, Mitch. I like it. Either way, we are going to be seeing still an absence of rifleless rounds as both teams this time going to be equipped. Chris J, a scout no less, and is going to be trying to catch someone on the cross. Not going to find it just in this one. As there's something a bit different from Mouse this time. They're seizing mid-control, but this time through lowers.
Yeah, and being very passive as well on long. Next is not even pushing through. Let's see what Dennis can do. Speaking of salesmen, see if they can sell the kipper here in mid. Chris J takes down Cajun B. That's an important kill on short. But they're not going to be, you know, hurrying themselves about this one. I think Dennis will make his way up there eventually. Zipnix on your screen now. A little bit nervous. He's actually very aggressive positioning for him as well here. He's going to be waiting for the push. It's a good flash there. Dennis rounds the corner. And then straight back down the stairs as well. Mouse just varying their pace here, slowing it up a little bit for the moment. Seeing if Dupree actually show themselves here. Let's see if they make a mistake. Zipnix will be watching as well from short. Or watching towards short.
TSM have changed their positioning as well, and oh, Chris J! You can see why he's so comfortable on the scout. That's going to be a potential third no. Zipnix does shake his head, but still, 2 crucial frags. Device and Cajun B now sleeping with the fishes, all because of Chris J and his scout. And now, Mouse have put 2 and 2 together. They realize there is 2 on A, and now all on to Dupree on B. Gonna actually go aggressive, interesting from him, flash his way out, but all he's going to do is give Mouse a whole lot of intel fast. Dennis gets the frag, and now all onto Zipnix to try and mop up, and he's not done a too shabby a job. The floor is starting to spark, and it's going to continue, just narrowly missing out on the Dennis frag there. 1 point of health left for that individual, and that's going to be then 2-2 as Mousesports, after a rather hard graft, find the second.
You've got to appreciate Chris J here as well. He's constantly forcing up, or at least in that round as well.
That's 3 rounds.
More than happy to take the scout, and that's 2 rounds off the back of that for Mousesports as well. He really opened things up on towards short, giving Mousesports some freedom to move here, and they are taking it and running with it at the moment. Now he's got the AWP in hand, looking towards mid, will not connect, but it's aggressive push from TSM here on long.
I like this. It's going to be Carrigan and Cajun B the ones trying to apply some pressure, and pressure will be thrown right back in their face thanks to that nade. Dennis is going to find Device holding that close angle. It's very clear already as to what TSM's plans were here. Try and catch someone out early. Not going to be happening, as Nex was happy to babysit the top of... I'm going to call it bedroom. There you go.
Oh, don't. Just don't.
Xyp9x and Dupree, though, in the meantime, are going to be doing something and getting some damage done on towards Mouse. This is all right from TSM. Certainly less than perfect, though, as another man does bite the dust. All onto Xyp9x as he recovers himself a molly and an AK. But the bomb's going down over on towards B, and I think this is going to be a very comfortable third for Mouse. Maybe, just maybe, be able to catch Nex out here if he's a little lucky. Oh, it was such a nice angle, but Nex, of course, having the Kevlar is going to be able to thrive there. And that's 3 for him in that round. Recovers the AWP, and all is good in the hood for Mouse Sports.
3 on the trot here for Mouse Sports, and Solo Mid now, well, a little bit mollified, I think, at this stage. We're going to see some armor coming up, at least for Dupree at the moment. I would say, apart from that, a little bit of a save for them here. So going for double.
That's a lot of deagles.
Yep.
There you go, the Penta-Deeg.
I think it's just a shout-out to Nico here. Let's see if they can emulate him, though, at all. Xyp9x pushing up on long. Not too far. The nade will go in. Again, Mouse Sports are playing this fairly slowly.
The age of the Deagle is nigh, it seems. There's more and more as time progresses. We're seeing more Deagles and more Deagle frags. Chris J this time is the one to go down. Bite the dust too. Now, it's going to be Dennis who just flicks back, finds 2 very quick frags. That's long, completely deleted. And TSM are going to have to rotate accordingly because the numbers are starting to stack up. And Xyp9x, he's starting to run out of fingers and run out of bullets to try and count them on the cross.
There's a gap in the smoke. Oh, he doesn't quite connect on towards Nico. Godby is also through that one. Now just going to spam a few through, but Dupree is going to now contribute with that AWP. 3v3 situation, but Mouse Sports have the guns, and now they're starting to gain that position. Device is trying to do some work as well from short as Dennis picks up Dupree. And Device looking straight down mid.
Dennis is third as well. As now the bomb is going to be going in. It's just going to be then Xyp9x as Device is kind of going on a roaming mission to recover that AWP of Dupree. And it's just going to be a case of, go on Xyp9x, do what you can with your 14 points of health and your Deagle. And it's going to be probably Nex who hunts him down. He does so, and that's going to be Mouse Sports happy to take the 4th. And actually, whoa, Device going a little overly aggressive. Peeking, desperately just trying to take something away from Mouse, but I think he's going to be much more happy keeping and preserving that AWP investment. And okay, just narrowly starting to run away. I don't know whether or not he's actually going to be allowed to get away with this one. Nico's on the hunt, on the prowl, and Device does narrowly get away in towards uppers. Dennis is going to greet him, and this is just going to be a bit of a bloodbath. And Device desperately holding on. He gets the 2nd, and I think he's just about done it. Has, heating up. Does actually get a couple of exits. Takes the rifles away from Mouse, and nice survival done there from Device.
Yeah, imagine at least keep a lid on Mouse Sports right now, economically speaking. And they will be able to buy some as well. Here's the double AWP from TSM.
Wow,
I want to see how this works.
Went from 5 AWPs, rather 5 Deagles to 4 AWPs currently on the map. See where these 2 teams choose to position them.
Right, the Device actually aggressively poking mid, doesn't manage to find Dennis, I think it was there, as Cajun B has dropped down. Now looking through those doors. Chris J as well has already made his way up on towards short. Pressuring at every turn Solo Mid now, as Carrigan will be the one to watch this one. Device is also down in CT. TSM definitely leaning towards, looking towards short here, and Device has done well. It takes down Nico. There's a bit of Molotov fire on short as Carrigan is ready to receive this push. It'll be Dennis, Nex, and Chris J to make that one if they do choose to. And Xyp9x isn't too far away as well. He's on long. Godby may even make his poke around there momentarily.
Yeah, so Mouse, they kind of considered short play, but I think they've been thrown away by TSM Smoke, at least delaying them to some extent, because the bomb is actually backing up towards long. I think that's going to be their point of execution. Xyp9x the man that's waiting. He's holding the angle tight, hoping and praying it's going to be a Mouse Sports head that just walks into that crosshair. But 39 seconds, they could be running out of time here, especially if Xyp9x does that. Godby down, and now that's a problem.
Carrigan also not too far away as well. Xyp9x will just be able to get the spray down. Chris J goes down, and there's no warps left for Mouse Sports here. Just the 2 AKs. Nex is now, we've got no other choice but really to push out on towards short, but Carrigan will be waiting for him there with the AWP. This is super risky for the man. He can't go forward. He can't go back. He's down if he does and doesn't, but he still finds Xyp9x nonetheless. Now, what can Dennis do now as he pushes on towards long? It's a great combination there. He did chip in to pick up Carrigan. Device is the only man standing. 9 seconds left, and the bomb is still on long.
I think Device is just going to be playing the game of survival. He's going to very, very well, considering just how powerful Dennis can be. It's been truly influential in this game. We are going to be seeing TSM find their second round, time being their best friend in this one, as well as, of course, that bomb's positioning. That bomb wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for Zipnik. So he is definitely the one to point out in that round. Two very nice frags. You can see Gobby just walked straight on in to his crosshair, and he found a second not too long after on towards Chris J. So very, very nice, comfortable hold on towards long. That's going to be TSM closing that gap now to 3.
No flashes are available for Mouse there as well. Nothing they could use to maybe force a positional change there from Zipnik. So they fall right into that one here. And let's see now how this next one goes. As Device, he's looking towards mid. Chris J is not too far as well. But Nico and Dennis, they're going to be poking those doors in just a second. What can they do with this? A flash comes out. Cajun B cleverly moves away as Device takes down Nico. And all of Mouse are concentrated towards mid.
Locked out, you would think, by that smoke throwing a molly of their own, as Gobby gets a little bullet of motivation in the back from Dennis, who has been a fragging presence so far here on Dust 2. Got 10, and actually Device has just got a second tag. That nade could be perfect. It is! Clips next is all it needs. And that's 2 members of the Mouse Squadron down already. And now it's a problem. Trying to execute on towards that A site, an A site stacked by 3 defenders, no less. With just 3, it's not going to be easy.
Well, let's see now. KGB will be holding from that side. He does see Chris J, and he does line him up perfectly. A flash on towards the remaining Mouse players. There goes Dennis. Will he make it a third? You better believe it. Cajun B, he's in the house.
Just Device and Cajun B necessary then to acquire that round. Beautiful stuff from the Danes as they do find 4. 4-4 now here. And it's going to be an eco for the German side as well. Coming in to this one. This is where things slow down. This is where you're going to expect TSM to play and try and keep the T side at arm's length, because as soon as that Glock train starts moving, if a couple of frags get exchanged, horrible things can happen, and so you're going to see TSM, you would expect, go for something different. And look at that, they straight away are all up to B. That's not something we've seen from TSM before. 3 players ready and waiting to receive anything on towards B initially, and now they start to rotate back for that mid hold.
Yeah, Mousebot's not opting for any sort of stack or a Glock train, as it were, in this one here. You can see they do have a couple of P250s in hand, and they are looking towards mid. But the bomb is down in mid as well. And well, Device and Cajun B are both watching this one from mid as well. Device just wanting to connect on towards those doors. The Deagle comes straight out, and that's quick draw McGraw for you, ladies and gentlemen. It's just Dennis left. And he is, well, just chilling in tunnels right now. He's, there's not much he can really do from this position, obviously, especially with Device watching like a hawk from mid.
Something quite satisfying about a Deagle headshot really is just the sound, everything combined. And when you get 5, something quite magical does happen. Now though, Dennis has got so little to work with. He knows that this round is going to be coming to a close. It's just a question of who will do it. The answer is Zipnix, as TSM do take the lead for, well, the first time since the 3rd. As they just see them acquire the first 2 rounds off the back of the pistol, and now we have finally seen them seize control once again. There it is.
The double stack, man. 2 AWPs towards mid as well. I mean, Device obviously not opting for his one there. I'm surprised we didn't see Tumbleweed and like the whistling in the background of like the showdown. It wasn't much of a showdown there because that draw was very, very quick on the man. But here we go, Mouse with 3 players heading towards tunnels. Nex and Godby are hanging back a little bit here. You can see now a little bit more of a delayed work towards mid on this eco for Mouse. They've got 3 Tech 9s and a couple Deagles. They do have some flashes and smokes to work with, but it's how that they're employed that will be more important.
Yeah, this does start to look like a bit of a mid to B setup, and there it goes. The flashes and everything. Chris J, he caught a glimpse of a CT, needs to finish the job. Finally he does, as it's going to be Dennis's job finished. Beautiful from Chris J. He finds 2, and actually Nico's gone and done what Nico does best with the Deagle. Cajun B now down, and this round, it's a force no less. Just pistols and armor for the majority. Starting to shape up pretty nicely for Mouse. Bomb down, and now Zipnix and Carrigan have got a bit of a mountain to climb, and oh no, one of the climbers is now no more, and now all onto Carrigan. He's been tagged up heavily by Nex, and I think he's going to finish the job with the FAMAS. He does. What a round from Mouse.
Yeah, I mean, Device did get 1 kill there, but the AWPers in the mid getting completely surprised by that push out there. We said the last round, will we see a Glock train, will we see some aggression? This is Chris J here. Device got the first kill, he gets finished off, and then Dupree straight towards the head with that Tech 9. Exactly how it's done. I'm not ready for such aggression, especially since Device, I think it was Dupree earlier on, able just to watch towards mid and get the double.
Now then, double AWPs on either side once again. It's always interesting to see if anyone can survive the cross, and indeed 2 did. Dupree and Device still kicking after the start there for Mouse. And actually, a couple of changes on the side of TSM. No more is Cajun B on short. Instead, Zipnix has taken the helm there. They've swapped around, and you can see why, because Cajun B has just connected over towards Dennis on long.
Well, with Dennis being down, Carrigan has also got himself set up in pit there. Zipnix is watching. Device through mid, just took down Nico as he's pushing down. But now Mouse actually using this maybe little opening here to make their way through. Chris J on towards short. You see him now, going to make a push on towards this one. He's going to force Zipnix off the balcony. Now he's going to come forward aggressively. Cajun B, is he ready for this? Just a little bit of baiting from Chris J at the moment. Might try to sell something. And maybe comes back through mid, but Device is there. This double AWP setup is proving to be really oppressive for Mouse Sports.
Yeah, they are just keeping them locked out. And Device actually narrowly missing out one. Gonna pay the price as Nex wins out. And the AWP, the AK duel. Nice angle being held by Zipnix. In fact, he's looking to try and adopt something better as the smoke does come out. And damage is done. Just 2 members left, made 1. As Nex with no health left, no hope really, as Zipnix is looking to finish the job, and it's going to be his teammate Carrigan who does do that. So 6-5 then, as this one is being kept nice and close, and you're right, the double AWP setup is responsible for a whole lot of this kind of, well, both early pressure, but these late game rounds, these late kind of last 20-30 seconds, Mouse have very little room to maneuver because of those early frags. And
the economy's a little bit skewed at the moment for Mouse Sports. You see that Chris J had quite a lot, and they are just going to go for a save here. So again, on Dennis, Godby and Chris J, there are some nades, a couple flashes as well, Armor and Tech9. They had good success with this push before, but this time DSM nice. Device is not taking any prisoners as he shoves his way down mid. But here's the B push. Dupree will be sitting in the back of the side, and there comes some players. He didn't actually manage to connect that first few shot, and there it is. Device now chiming in on B. Doesn't matter where the man is, he's getting fragged. Dupree also behind the boxes, just gets one with the M4. Now got the USP out through smoke. There's plenty of smoke, but it doesn't matter. Cajun B sees straight through that one and gets the finish on towards Nico.
Device has been the force to be reckoned with. That's an extra 2. So from 14 to 16 now he resides. Look at that. Almost double what his teammates are bringing into the equation so far. And on the other side of Mouse Sports, Godby not really bringing too much to the fray in terms of frags. Just the 1 so far in our 12 rounds so far here on Dust 2.
I really do think, and not being an expert myself, I really do think that TSM's double AWP setup is one of the most potent that we have in CSGO at the moment. Either Device or Cajun B are incredibly potent in that particular role here. So Chris J has one of his own, but Cajun B is just going to shut him down immediately.
That does remind me of what Moses said over in Dubai. His main point was that TSM has the best Dust 2 in the world at this point. That was his comment, and you know what?
They smashed Virtus Pro 16-3 when they were there. So.
Absolutely, but it's just crazy to see that like the way that they structure it is so, not reliant, but it does most definitely work so much better when you have the AWP in the hands of both Device and Cajun B, especially on that CT side. This is going to look more like to shape up like a standard short execute, something we haven't actually seen too much from Mouse since the pistol.
Tempo definitely being halted slightly here. It's going to be the same trio of Carrigan, Cajun, and Zipnix that's going to be over at A here. So Mouse, there's no free pass in towards this site here. They have to set this one up nicely. They do have a Molotov on God B. Look out for that one being used just to try and clear Zipnix out. But he's actually sitting right back towards Goose there. So not really exposed right now. Fairly passive setup here. Cajun B's just watching the slight angle from Carr. And Dupree, well, he's also just taking his time there as well.
I like that angle from him. That's basically keeping his teammates safe and enables him to see right over the smoke. This is very nice. It does mean Mouse Sports could get caught out here.
There we go now. Dupree making some shots. He had the perfect position. He does take down Nico. He should have possibly seen through that, but there's still 2 Mouse players pushing up towards B. But Device, he'll be waiting. Doesn't get the kill, but Zipnix does. Godby over the top there. Through the little gap takes him down, and he's just the only player. He gets the plant. That's something as Carrigan pushes out, and it was Dupree who silences Godby.
Making the best out of a bad situation there for Godby as he's got like sweat on his brow, desperately trying to get the last digit in. He does manage to get that bomb down, but that is going to be the 8th for TSM. And you're right, the map is quite literally sliced in 2, and there is a 3-2 split between them. It's Device and Dupree, the double Ds, who are left to their own devices between mid and B.
We'll do have a pause here, of course, as Mouse Sports having lost one of their players. So we can, I guess, take a moment to just have a look at things as well. I mean, 6 out of the last 7 rounds have gone towards Team Solo mid. They definitely seem like they've woken up a bit more off the back of Device as well. And I think that coincides as well with their more prolific employment of this double AWP setup as well. Don't want to harp on it, but again, like they have a lot of freedom with Device being able to hold mid so well. Cajun B can be at A. He's not aggressive play as well. He's poking some fairly passive angles, just holding. And Mouse Sports are just breaking like waves upon rock right now. It almost seems like they're splintering themselves rather than Team Solo mid breaking them down.
Yep. These next 2 rounds are kind of crunch time, though, because you better believe that 10-5 sounds an awful lot worse than 8-7. And now, keeping my eyes on the prize, it does look like we're going to be seeing something different from Mouse. You said that Carrigan and Cajun B have been a force to be reckoned with on long, and we know that from experience. And just having that AWP trained on that location, it's just terrifying because, you know, if you get past KGB, congratulations, but Karrigan's waiting for you, and they're not going to be doing it because Nico immediately does go down. And that you said before, Karrigan's there to babysit, gets two for himself. Now they back away, and TSM, doesn't matter where you try, doesn't matter where you approach them. And hang on a second, we need to address this because Chris J, he's walked into B, and Dupree must have walked straight past him. They must have quite literally just caught a whiff of each other
I've
through
seen
smoke.
something like this on Reddit before. Yeah, there it is. All right, so Chris going to be able to pick up a device there. He doesn't know that there's players for TSM in mid here, so he has to be careful. Dupree walked straight past him, so he might be as unaware as Dupree is now. But there's the shots coming in. Goal big! Perfect stuff on towards the head of Zipnix there. Just snapped him right up, but unfortunately Dupree will have to put a damper on things there and take him out.
Dupree, I mean, they quite literally must have pushed through that smoke at the same time. Love to see that one again, but it does mean now that that's going to be 9. Mapsport's going to be desperate to try and get that 6th on the board before they swap sides. And I mean, so far, it has been a bit of a tough one for them. You've seen them try mid, you've seen them try short execute, you've seen them try long. Majority of the time, unless they get the opening pick. Hang on a second. Device looking towards suicide. Every single time Device has kind of got that opener, that's when we see Mouse hit the brakes, and that's when we see the rounds kind of not go their way. And there it is. Device finds the opener this time, going aggressive towards lowers, and now Mouse hit the brakes.
Well, KGB there as well. These AWPs are doing so much work for TSM right now. Device aggressively peeking that one. Dennis will now drop. It's just got B left because that's 4 kills between the AWPers this round. And got B will be able to respond on towards Device, but can he get the second? No. He's slightly tagged up. He's going to head straight towards short. It looks like he wants to take this battle here against KGB. I don't know anyone would really want to do that. Even on a good day with a no-scope gets the job done. Zipnix will push towards him with a CZ and Karrigan to finish the job. This is what I'm saying. I don't really think Mousesports have a response to this double AWP setup, and they had this same problem the other night as well when they played. I mean, Chris J trying to break down the double AWP setup of Titan, I think it was, on Keish, and he couldn't do it.
Interestingly enough, you know, Mouse, they don't really have that option on their roster. I have no doubt that there is someone else that can kind of wield the AWP. I've seen Nico on more than one occasion pick up the AWP for himself, and I believe it was Kenny S who not recently, or quite a while ago actually, was quoted as saying that Nico is one of those AWPers that he feared playing up against when he did have the option to pick it up. And now, with just 5 rounds acquired on that T side, Mousesports are going to have to do something special. And I mean, once the ball got rolling, once TSM got that double AWP in play on the CT side, there was very little that Mouse could do, and that was evidenced by the however many consecutive rounds we saw. It's like 6 or 7 by the end of that one.
Now, Mousesports have tried the double AWP here as well. It just hasn't seemed to have worked out in such a good way, but they do obviously move towards the CT side now, so pistol does begin. A little bit of harassment going on towards long there as Nico took down Zipnix. Got B now as well in the pit. Chris J going to make his way in towards mid here. Does see a couple players who's forced to back up there, but he's so sharp on towards a head of Device to pick him up. 3v5.
Okay, Mouse. Really damage done, and that does hamstring the assault. There's now TSM probably considering a pressure through mid, and Chris J is going to be the one to welcome them with open arms and headshots as he does take Karrigan down and out of the Danish equation. And now just Dupree and Cajun B left to finish this one.
Chris J does go down as Cajun B, at least able to trade into that sort of situation here. But where will they go? Maybe short? It's just Nico currently on A right now. God B is trying to make a bit of a flank as well through mid. I don't know how fast it's going to be, if he's going to catch them. Not at this stage, at least. So Nico now to receive. He's still full health, still full armor, in a decent position. I think he'd like to play from here normally, but here comes TSM. He gets dinked. He's down towards 1 health now, but he does get Cajun B. He's going to wait for some backup surely now as he does duck away. The flash will subside. There's a second one now as well. Jeez, Dupree getting quite aggressive. He will be able to pick that one up. Only a little bit of health left, but it's a 1v3 now. Dupree trying to get the plant down. Next, trying to deny that one. He can.
Didn't manage to get the bomb down. Dupree actually opted to cancel the plant in order to try and go for the 1v3. Maybe, just maybe, if he'd have held that, he could have got that down and aided his team with some money. But no, instead, we are just going to go ahead and see this one start to go the way of Mousesports on the CT side. Getting the first round is important. Let's see if they can build off the back of that one. They're looking to do that quite heavily, actually. Look at this SMG buy. We're going to see 3 equipped for them into the second round. And TSM looking a little bit armored. Helmet for 3 of them, and Dupree deletes God B right off the bat.
It's a good start there for Team Solo Mid. It is obviously 2 Deagles for them right now. The CZ and a couple of smokes here, so not a huge amount of utility for them. Mouse do have, I guess, the advantage at least in the early stages, but losing that 1 player. Let's see now how TSM exploit that. They're trying to poke and prod, they're trying to create an opening, but Mouse, now Chris J being brought up in towards CT to try and bolster those forces here at A. He does have a P90. See what he can do from it there as well. He doesn't want to really take any duels at length with that one now. Nico actually got himself an M4, but here's the push from TSM now out towards short. A little bit of damage done by Chris J. Traded in. Smoke is going to come up as well. Carrigan went low. Mouse is going to be able to finish the job. Device goes down as well. And there it is. Mousesport's getting it done with Zipnix to fall. Only Cajun B is left now after Dennis gets the job done. I think he's about to drop himself as well. Is he Cajun B? Yes. Here we go. And a fairly clean anti-eco there coming out from Mouse, or a fairly clean second round. It's going to need more than that though as well. Let's think about it. I mean, it's... The burst from Mouse is coming in fairly isolated situations. In the last half, they managed to pick up a 3, and there's Dupree doing just Dupree things.
Yeah, very, very quick dispatch of God B, and now we're just going to have to go ahead and wait for our Mouse, our missing Mouse, before we get back into the action. But I mean, you know, that's exactly how TSM started. They got the first 2 rounds, and then Mousesports started to find their footing when they were on the attack. So intrigued to see where TSM choose to take this round, especially considering their money they did force into that round. So we're going to be seeing them a little undergeared.
Well, I mean, definitely what I want to see as well, once we come around to those buys, we're going to see Solomid go straight for the double orb, try and save a little bit for that. I mean, looking at money at the moment, it's hard to really discern if...
I'm not sure if they're... if they use the double up as much on that T side. It is, I mean, especially on Dust 2, you usually want to rely a little bit more on those rifles, as finding picks can be difficult, can pose a bit of a difficult task. Unless you're capable of finding that pick at long consistently, or even just doing damage on the early cross.
Can be a bit of a coin toss going towards long, I guess, on that T side. Mousesports waiting for their next player as well. And it's only the second game of the night as well, so we've still got a couple more to come. And Mousesports, again, you know, for them, it's been a little while since we've seen them on Dust 2. Where they haven't played it actually in this season of Pro League, not yet anyway. So, of course, they did beat Winterfox and Liquid to qualify for DreamHack Cluj, so they're through to that one. Unfortunately, Penta not so lucky. That's why we've seen the changes from them. Trying to gather as much experience as they can. And important to note as well that Mousesports' statistics on Dust 2 aren't terrible, but a lot of their wins are coming against what you would probably call Tier 2 opposition.
Yeah, I mean, so far, Mouse not been having the greatest couple of weeks. Just recently, in fact, off the back of yesterday, earlier on this evening, we saw them play up against CSGO Lounge over in Sevo and lost that one out. I think it was in two in a best of 3 over on Overpass and Cobblestone. So really not been finding footing so far in the past few weeks. Now though, TSM bringing very little to the battle, and it's going to be very clear that Mousesports are going to be shredding them down. Next with his P90, Chris J rocking the MP9, and they're just taking pocket change gifted to them by the Danes here. Now just all on to Cajun B, and he's only got 9 points of health.
That's right, he'll just hang on there and see what he can possibly do. So Mousesports, unsurprisingly, they will be able to win that one out, and now we do go in towards our buy rounds. So this is what I want to see. Solo mid, see what they're going to go for. It's just Carrigan actually going to go for the AWP in this situation. No Cajun B, no device with that one.
I'm not going to speak too soon, but I do still see an SMG for Chris J.
And next.
Yeah, yeah, okay, rocking it. They know they're going to be going up against some form of full buy, you would assume, and no, rocking a P90 and an MP9 then here on the CT side. Probably going to be holding some close angles. Dennis is the one wielding the AWP here as he looks to try and keep B safe and sound. In the meantime, Chris J anticipating that flash towards short, ready to flick and frag TSM member.
Zipnix and Nico just trading out here at length, and it was actually Carrigan's push really aggressively through mid as well. Bear in mind, he's the man with the AWP right now. He's trying to create some sort of opportunity, but there's Chris J, was ready to turn around, but not quite fast enough. A device to pick him up. Now got B. He no one likes to be in CT in this sort of situation, especially when people are moving towards A, but that is where he is, and Carrigan will make his way out on towards there. Nico there, couple of little cheeky shots. He will be able to pick up device, but he has to deal with Carrigan, and maybe he knows that he's going to back away a little bit here. See what he can do. Zipnix was also threatening. He's been there all round. Flash came in, and the bomb goes down. Very slow from Mousesports here.
Yeah, this retake's going to have to be swift, though. Try and pick up the pace somewhat. 3 members of them, all looking to come from CT area. Nico's the only force coming from long. You would expect finally going to be making the move, as Zipnix has done the same. Backed away, and actually Dupree is the one to come alive. Finds 2 very quick frags, and looking now to find his third, as it's actually going to be Cajun B. Finally, Dupree does connect his third, and Carrigan's having issues. Now, on to Nico. We found 2, realised his time is of the essence to just get out of there and maintain what he can. As Zipnix kept him... I mean, that was actually mind games from Zipnix. He was present on long for so long, finally saw that Nico was checking him, and he just went for the long rotate, playing the long game back towards short in order to make sure Nico didn't have that presence of mind. And so it is going to be then 8-11 as another pause. This is our third pause so far. I'm wondering who we have lost this time.
I mean, I'd love to see statistics on retake percentages when you're playing out from CT as well onto the A site. Because it really seems very, I guess, oppressive to play out from that position as well. And Dupree was quite happy. I think he was sitting on short in that case as well. Managed to pick up 3 fairly easy frags as Mouse pulled out.
Yeah, that's the beauty of CT, is that it does enable you to have some fantastic angles if there is a presence, like an enemy T presence in mid, or if they're going for like a mid to B. That's why it's such a common spot. I mean, you look at Freakazoid CT over for Cloud9, and every round he will play CT in to some degree. And now the problem on the other foot, on the other side of things, is that as soon as the bomb goes down on A, you are a sitting duck. You're either coming from short, or you're going to have to make the tough push over towards elevator.
Yeah, I mean, it's a height advantage as well that you're always having to fight up against, especially if you've had mid denied away from you. But again, Mouse Sports will have to be looking for their 5th player here as he does drop. Team Solomid obviously picking up that last round here as well. So that's their first round of this half. And as you can see, they have been able to keep the money flowing, as it were. No AWPs for them this time around. On the scoreboard, Dupree performing very nicely. The rest of TSM also, not too much variance between those scorelines.
A reminder for you guys as you are waiting to see this action unfold. There's more CS on the way. We have Dignitas versus Fnatic going to be our 3rd game of the evening. Going to be great to see the other Danes try and battle it out. It's always interesting to see like their rise to power, because they are sitting currently, I mean, you know, with the whole imbalance with matches played, but they are sitting around 5th place currently in the Pro League in our standings. So it's going to be great to see Dignitas going up against Fnatic, and just to see if a well-performing Dignitas and a slightly underperforming Fnatic poses us with a fantastic game over on Mirage.
Absolutely, and it'll be good to see how Mirage actually sort of plays out. I mean, you know, Dignitas on Mirage as well hasn't exactly been Supercell. They actually lost to Immunity. Come on, boys. But they still qualified for DreamHack Cluj, but during that qualifier, they lost that one as well. Also, DreamHack London, they played that twice and lost to TSM and Envy 16-6 for both of those ones. So we'll get on towards that one. I would say it's a terrible map as well, but Dignitas are still yet to really establish themselves as a true driving force. I think they've got to grind out a few more games, and Fnatic as well will be desperately seeking that win to get themselves up and going.
Yeah, I mean, they could be quite a fall from grace if we do see Fnatic not holding that top spot. TSM are kind of hunting them down at this point, and this win would most definitely put them another step closer to that. And then the final game of the night will be Dignitas up against Mouse Sports. So getting to see the form in which Mouse Sports are in will be most definitely interesting for me. I mean, there are still some kind of question marks surrounding Dignitas. I mean, you know, one of the things being this whole Schneider edition pimped out on the AWP. We'll talk about all of that a little later, because I do think it's time for us to turn our attention back to the game. Mouse Sports going to be going up against a fully bought TSM, and we have got our final man back in the server. I think he's having a few connection issues, and hopefully we can see them resolved.
Well, this is a full buy for Mouse as well, if you look at the money. So they can get themselves all in sundry pretty much ready to go here. So an important round as well, as they want to just sort of keep solo mid within arm's reach here. Obviously losing that last round, they can still go for the buy here. We are waiting for clearly some connection issues to be addressed for one of these Mouse Sports players here as well. And better to sort them out now than later on, as they do still have some matches to play tonight. It'll be interesting to see how they go. Obviously, Mouse Sports currently in 8th place in our league. They're 3 wins and 4 losses. And TSM, before tonight at least, were in 3rd with 5 and 2. In that peloton, as I call it, as to use a cycling reference, I guess.
That. Okay,
you know, like
steal that one.
You know, obviously a lot of teams are still sort of at 5 and 2 at this point. And as I said, Dust 2 for TSM last night was where NIP actually managed to beat them on there as well. Existent Alu really, really firing in that map. But still, I wouldn't be counting TSM out on this one as well. Yeah, the score is looking quite close, and I attribute that in a big way to Mouse Sports as well. No one's really saying that, you know, Nico's been a bad addition, of course, coming in from the sub. I mean, the other night, obviously, going 1-1 against Titan as well, there were some issues that were starting to sort of be exposed for Mouse Sports. But again, they're just trying to get as much practice as they can, of course, before the next major. This ain't a bad way to do it.
Just around the corner.
Yeah, it is.
That's going to be really worth a watch, and keep your eyes locked on TSM as well, as they are still battling for that major victory. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride at this point. But away from the game then, it seems, because these guys are still having some connection issues. We're just waiting on... I think, well, I'm seeing Chris J and Nex are the ones that haven't bought, so that's always my assumption that those are the guys that are having issues. So instead, Mitch, they're probably wondering who the hell you are, dude. They're like, who is this beautiful Australian man that has invaded our stream? So, I mean, you've been having fun over the last couple of days?
Absolutely. It's been really good to get to jump into some CSGO stuff here as well. Obviously, I did a fair bit of it over in Australia.
Yeah, what were you doing over in Oz? Because, I mean, the Australian CS scene, is it not just casting a whole lot of Renegades immunity?
It was. Well, it was Vox Seminole immunity back then.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so it did a couple of things as well. Like our main events, I guess, was sort of run by Cybergamer, which is a platform over there.
Cybergamer, yeah.
Now, obviously, with ESL over there, they're doing some more stuff. But the Fnatic Azubu Masters was good fun. We actually had Devil Walking Khan come down. We casted some show matches, did a bit of that. And, of course, as well, the Australian CS scene is incredibly volatile and always changing. For a long time, it was always Vox Seminole or Renegades, as we now know them. Now, Immunity is stepping into the limelight as well. And, of course, there's some teams that are really quite close behind as well. So, hard for me to sort of be away from all that action as it happens, but I'm pretty pumped to be here as well. And hopefully, for you guys as well, I've enhanced your viewing experience a little bit, because I'm definitely pumped to be here. Now we're going to be into this one. No Mouse Sports have finally got their issues sorted. Chris J going to be buying up the orb.
Alright then, so jumping back into the action, this is our second game of 4 tonight for the ESL ESEA Pro League. Mouse Sports looking to close in on TSM here, as we do see Chris J now wielding the AWP up against the full rifle buy of TSM. Of course, something that we were not seeing too much of over on their CT side, but now here on the attack, they're going full AK, and it does look like they're looking to try and seize some control of both middle and short.
TSM asking the question of Mouse towards mid, and Mouse have actually left that mostly unattended. They got a couple players in CT, 2 might I add. So that'll be interesting if TSM try to make a move towards there, but Carrigan is on short. We see Chris J now stepping back, getting ready to set up. If that push does come towards him, TSM have taken control. Molotov in towards mid. Nothing to write home about. I don't think TSM really want to traipse over that one at this stage. But you can see Dennis and Mouse, of course, Dennis and Nex, should I say, over at the B side. They're getting a little bit antsy here as TSM now get ready for this push to A.
Oh, great angle from Chris J. Just catches device as he was considering a peek towards Goose. Godby does exactly the same thing, and now TSM have been cut down to size. Cajun B pressuring through mid there. That's very nice. Godby is going to be kicking himself because now there's more to come. Cajun B finally is shut down by Dennis, but the damage most definitely is permanent, and now all onto Zipnix. 1 man left, and there's no hope for him as Dennis seals his fate. And that's going to be another one for Mouse. What's an important one as well. As you said before, that's going to be closing the gap. They picked up the 3 off the back of the pistol. Then TSM bit back, but now their money's straight back down to the Stone Age, or maybe the Bronze Age, as you're going to see a couple of deagles, but there's very little for TSM in this one.
Great work from Chris J. They're holding on A. Kept it passive, kept himself around the corner after getting that initial pick, moved back towards Goose. He actually didn't see one of the TSM players that already pushed up quite close to him, but all of a sudden TSM were preoccupied with what was happening in CT, so worked in his favour, no doubt about it. Cajun B has the deagle here, no armour whatsoever for TSM here as well, so Mouse Sports now licking their lips, hoping to get themselves another round on the board here, and not being too risky as TSM going for actually, honestly, a fairly similar split. It's Nico gets the better of Carrigan, they're fighting in Longhouse there, changing my terminology for that one. One more bedroom. Is Chris J ready on the pick? With the flick up, doesn't quite get in the kill, but Godby about to eat Zipnix up as he does drop down in. Chris J now on towards Device. He's trying to watch the cross, but Dupree manages to take his head off there. It's a mess! It is a mess, but Mouse Sports still prevail in the end, and that's Nico with 3 frags to his name.
That's 10 as well for Mouse Sports now. As I think TSM are going to be forced to quite a few Galils. I'm seeing money. Yeah, it's going to be Device and Carrigan then looking to take the less than ideal route into this round. The same can't be said for Mouse, though, as they're going to have another shot at this one. That was an interesting one for me. We saw like this kind of Nico all-star hold where he's always getting these frags that he probably shouldn't up against TSM, and they try and do the same right back.
So there's aggressive push through Longhouse that really opened things up there for Mouse Sports. Now the buy though, couple Galils here, and Cajun B is able to clean up Dennis with one of them.
Look at that, they overextend. Dennis and Nex, they charge into upper tons, trying to keep pressure applied on the B hole, but never mind. Nico and Chris J are going to be getting the frags they need. Nico on the other end of the map, picking up 2 on long. And that overextension, very aggressive stuff from Mouse, fortunately, has been forgiven by their teammates.
Godby. Rather forward positioning here on short. Definitely a bit of confidence about this one. He knows the bomb is there, but so is Device. And I think so is Cajun B as well. Both those players stacked up in a position. Godby, great pop flash there to pick up Device, and the bomb down on the ground as well. He's going to smoke that one, flash that one. He's going to back away. KGB now, well, the net will be closing somewhat as he does sneak up. He wants to take this fight. What a shot towards the head of GOB, but Nico will shut him down. Another 3K for Nico in this round. That man is starting to get out of control.
Yeah, that's 6 frags in 2 rounds, 21 overall for him, as he is starting to come alive here on the defensive side. He's like, he's a bit of a roamer though. We've seen him getting a whole lot of frags towards that short, but is also very, very present towards long. So he's a bit of flexible. He's a rubber band between the two. And he's basically filling the role of 2 players at this point.
TSM now back to pistols. They've only got 1 flash on Zibnix here. Not a lot to work with at all. Mouse getting themselves this reserve at least of rounds. This is going to be quite a close finish at this rate, at least unless TSM fire up towards the end of things. It's a 3-man stack towards that A side of the map here for Mouse. Nico again. We've got B right here. Let's see what they can do. TSM pouring out. Nico picks up Zibnix. And I don't think there's going to be any more challenge there from TSM. Just the 1 player to push through. TSM more concerned about mid. Here comes Dupree. Does get tagged up quite heavily. Looking for a deagle shot. Won't connect.
Yeah, TSM, they were kind of hoping and praying that they could just get an early pick, as that would mean everything in terms of getting that bomb down. Instead, though, Dennis and Nex just look to be digging their heels in on B. Dupree is so hungry for just something. And Chris J, knowing he did earlier damage, connects through the wall to finish Dupree off. And hang on a second, Carrigan does manage to catch one without the other. As I don't know what Dennis was necessarily looking at initially. Next was just staring at the doors, and now just KGB and Device. Nothing really achieved, excuse me, so far in this round. And just as I say that, KGB does take one out of the running.
Got to try for something at this stage, and Device gives us a little bit of flair as Chris J goes down, but it was also KGB to claim a scalp with that deal. And the bomb, as is being indicated, is a long way away, and Device only has 2 points of health to rub together, and Dennis will take those away very quickly.
That's nasty. Like, he's like, okay, they're miles away, I've got an AWP, maybe I'll just have a quick look, and bang, those 2 points of health are no more. So, Mouse Sports, that's a whole load in a row, 4 for them. So far, we've only seen 1 successful T round from the Danish side, Team Solo Mid. So let's see if they can mix it up. So far, they have tried a great deal of pressure towards long, and Nico shut that down twice. We saw them go for this kind of pistol short execute. So far, they haven't had too many opportunities with rifles. It looks like they're going to be going towards long again. A lot of smoke, a lot of flashes, and 3 members of Mouse initially showed face at long, and all of them have turned and ran.
That's right, they're getting the heck out of dots now, as they did throw some smokes to cover their retreat. And TSM are going to find nothing for this aggressive stack towards long, and Mouse come away with all the information. They know there's a strong presence for TSM there. They're going to sit right back on this one, and now TSM have to poke long and make their way through.
I like that. They chose not to face. Mouse not interested in an early exchange. They are the guys that can just sit. TSM are the ones that have to come to them, and they make that call quite wisely. It does come down, though, to Chris J's hold on long, and no AWP in play for the T side. It's going to be difficult, especially for that player in pit.
Device is in pit, though, and Chris J, I don't think is aware of this at all. I don't think he knows because of all the smoke that came up. He had his back turned, so a quick peek from Device might help, but he's only got an AK in hand as well. No warps at all for Team Solo Mid. These long angles could be problematic.
Yeah, Nico in the other side of things is just starting to linger on the side of smoke. Did get caught, but I think he's just going to happily sit this one out. Dupree's there. So is Zipnix if he chose to push through now with one of his own flashes. It looks like he's going to catch one. Oh, straight through the smoke. Dupree's brain is no more. In the meantime, Device did find a second. Nico, hello. Now just 3 for TSM, and they are starting to try and pincer in, but just round by round, Nico starts fragging. That's 3 again for him, and now just Device left. Godby gets it. It's just the magic between the two of them this time, as TSM's attempt at a push through short is demolished.
Poetry in motion right now for Mouse Sports. What a fantastic hold, and they made a clever and correct decision not to take that fight at long. They brought it back, and they're dictating the pace of the game now. They're forcing TSM to play it slow as much as they are as well. You take the teeth away from the dog, and the bite is no more. 2 rounds up for Mouse Sports here. They're getting close. This will be a close finish, but TSM now have the bye. It's still a Galil for Zipnix and Carrigan. They have a little bit of utility. They're going to have to do a lot with it.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. It's going to be intriguing to me, especially to see if they can actually forge some sort of assault towards B, because it hasn't been tried. Not once. We saw a couple of kind of sneaky plays just with the P250, but nothing really in the shape of a proper assault.
The only thing we've seen is actually Device asking questions. I think it was of one of the Mouse Sports players in the pistol round. That's it.
Now, actually, this might be it. This could be very well be a mid to B. They are starting to stack up. There's the smokes and flashes. This is just what we asked for. And Nex is so blind. How did they not see there's a player behind him? Carrigan finally swings around, trying to find a second. He does. Redeeming features found. as that's going to be the Danes seizing control of B. Just what we asked for.
That's right, Carrigan had some kangaroo blood in him there. Jumping up on towards that box made it very hard for him to be hit, and the bomb plant does occur over towards B. Cajun B will sit on that one now. Mouse Sports sticking together as a group. There's still an AWP with them as well. I think they'll save this one though. A 3-gun save for Mouse Sports. Very, very conservative for them. They know they're close to the goal, but they have to hang on.
Yeah, I mean, that's just smart CS, knowing that the chances of a retake up against the 4, especially on B, it's a very difficult site in order to kind of regain control once it's lost, and so you just can see Device going on a hunt. I wouldn't be surprised actually if Chris J takes him out of the running if he really does challenge long. No, it doesn't even have his AWP power. He's not interested in anything other than survival at this point. That is going to put 12 on the board for TSM, and the first real attempt, the real kind of blood in the water towards B, and they do manage to pick up a round.
Important one here. The second round for Team Solar Mid in this half. It was 10-5 at halftime, and Mouse Sports have managed to pressure them beautifully. 8 rounds for them here. It's been absolutely good. Absolutely good.
Absolutely
kind of like
good.
Almost a really emotive thing, and then absolutely good. Brilliant, Mitch. All right, well, who's he?
Extraordinarily all right.
Yeah. Incredibly decent, you could say. Yeah. Smokes towards mid now, and the bomb is actually in the hands of Cajun B. It looks like they're going to split mid and B right now, as Device and Carrigan are punching their way down, but Chris J will be there to meet them. He does see the nade go up. He's going to respond with a Molotov and back up a little bit in towards CT.
Actually, Device has managed to immediately just take short for his own. That doesn't mean that it's clear, however, except Mouse. If only TSM had pushed there, and they were so vulnerable. Both Chris J and Gobby were kind of just fumbling about in smoke, mid kind of reposition. Now, though, things are going to hit a bit of a standstill.
4 players for TSM around mid. Carrigan actually now the slower push towards this A. Gobby is flashed up, and he's going to jump straight down in. This is that mid to B, maybe. Carrigan might try and make something happen in CT. He wanted to clear it out if they wanted to head towards B, and he does take down next. Now what? 4v4 situation. Dennis has actually pushed up in towards tunnels. The bomb is so close to him now. He will get one, but there is another TSM player behind him, and that was Device to pick him up.
Now it's a 3v3. The bomb should be going down any second now. Carrigan's going to be the one to make that happen. Carrigan, fantastic play through CT. Managed to reposition all the way back there now. On towards B. With blink and you miss how he did it, and oh dear, Cajun B, good lingering towards middle. It's going to enable him to both get the frag and apply a whole lot of paranoia on the side of Mouse. All onto Chris J now, and hang on, he has brought it down to a 1v1, and he's holding it. Cajun B needs to pick up the pace. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, I think he's made it, and he has got his running shoes on. That's 3 for Cajun B in the round. TSM, battered and bruised, just about acquire a much-needed round to keep it level. 13-13 then, going to be the result. And Mouse's money isn't fantastic.
No, and after saving 3 guns and they're not getting anything out of it, I think they'll go for a bit of a save round here. No surprise to see Chris J go for that AWP, but they really need, I guess that they really need those guns when it counts. Of course, if that match point or that 15th round for Solar Mid were to come up here.
Carrigan just got hit through the double doors, courtesy of Chris J, providing the damage necessary. I think that's going to be a bit of a potential problem. Could be problematic. Actually, I assumed it was Chris J. I'm looking at the map. It does look like it may very well have been the Deagle of Nex. You know what happens when you assume, Mitch? Makes an ass out of you and me.
Obviously trying to get up to some monkey business there, but going to work out as Nex just will back up on mid as well. So Mouse Sports, I mean, they are trying to go for something here as well. TSM, look at their health bars. They have been chunked down quite a lot here. And Mouse Sports now need to apply some force to these pressure points.
And low health bars are a dream for Chris J on a scout. This could get deadly.
Right, Zipnix and Cage are the only ones on full health. The rest of TSM are battered and bruised. But will it be enough for Mouse Sports to actually clinch this one out? Let's see what Chris J can do. He's up, looking towards that short there on the boost, but TSM are slowly retracting, actually heading over towards that B side. But Dennis and Nex will be lying in wait. And with them, of course, just the pistols here. They have to make sure every shot counts. At TSM seem undecided right now. They're looking for a solid opening, something to actually build on in this round. They're going to make their way towards mid. There's Zipnix and, of course, Device around there. They're looking for the smoke towards CT. They're going to make their way across. Gobby, though, he's got the boost spot, but TSM are read straight through that. Zipnix prepared for that eventuality. We'll be able to pick him up, and now Chris J forced to make a rotate. Dennis did respond nicely. Dennis holding beautifully from B, but there's Zipnix now to shut him down. 2v3. I mean, Mouse, they've got to make something out of us here.
Yeah, I think Cajun B's in a prime spot here, and I think we could very well be seeing 2 very dead mice in a second. Just the one, as Chris J's quick to respond, does get himself an AK. He's got a molly as well. It's going to enable him to play a bit of a process of elimination now. Well, I think actually that kind of did not work out, and that's going to cost him his life, as Device can just hold the close angle alongside Zipnix. And TSM, things are starting to go very much their way. So it's going to be 14, and Mouse are going to be probably battling to play for the equalizer here.
And you know what? I think it's been a couple rounds at least since Nico's actually gotten a frag. He had those 3 big rounds, I think, where he got about 8 kills in them. And now, I think in the last 3 rounds, I'm going to extend to saying that he hasn't got a frag here. So the man has gone a bit quiet just when Mouse Sports need him most to close the deal here. Force up for them now again as well. You can see a FAMAS in the mix, but it's not too bad for them generally. Let's see what they can make of it here. Kids on 3 players. As a little bit of damage goes towards Dennis as he's in front of tunnels.
All right then. Going to be seeing a bit of an intriguing stack over from Mouse. They put 3 players deep in towards B. They are anticipating the bomb, and hang on. Carrigan through T-spawn is about to be making that very delivery. Device was the one trying to keep Nico and GodB busy, and it's kind of done exactly what was intended. As we are going to reach that 60-second mark, and Mouse could have a very good read here if TSM continue. I do say that though, things are going to start to rotate back towards middle. No stranger to a mid to B though.
Right, Mouse Sports have done nothing to indicate that this is a stack though, because they don't usually have a strong presence in mid early on these rounds on the CT side, or at least they haven't. GodB will normally sit back in CT here, so as far as TSM is concerned, this could be just the default setup.
This is going to be a huge B hit. Cajun B and Carrigan from upper. 3 players pushing mid to B. This is going to be intriguing to see what Mouse Sports can do to deal with it. Not much, as now Dennis is down, and Chris J, look how vulnerable they are. They're just holding hands. What was that? Nex and Chris J just having a tea party over on B, and it's been completely crashed by the Danes. And now it's just going to be Nico and GodB. That was a crucial round. They even had the numbers, but their positioning was really, really questionable. It's just going to be then GodB and Nico.
I think they were concerned as well about the push coming from CT as well. From a TSM, they might have tried to set up to maybe aggressively push them through the doors, but with a double-pronged attack like that as well, they got completely caught with their pants down. And then Nico and GodB just going to sit back on this one as well. You can see that they do want to save these guns. Of course, they have to. Nico... Oh no, it might be too late for him to fire now. That was a pop flash for him. He's looking for Zipnix, but he doesn't poke the doorway as well. He could be caught by surprise here. Dupree does signal his own presence there, but there's Device to pick up Nico. And GodB now just has to sit in pit and hope to stay alive. They want these guns out of Mouse Sports' hands. They'll stop at nothing to do it, but there's GodB. He goes down, and Dupree will get that gun out of his hands. Match point comes up, and Mouse Sports are in a very difficult situation now. Look at that money.
Those 2 rifles were so crucial to try and bring this into overtime, and you can see that TSM have just really pushed where it hurts there. That was so crucial. We're going to be seeing the scout party brought in. Never doubt Chris J with a scout, though. And now, let's see if Mouse Sports can find 14. If they can, this round could very well dictate Mouse Sports' future, because they could try and claw this one back, but it's not looking likely. 5-7s and armor across the board. They have some nades to delay TSM, but TSM, they can just take this nice and slow and whittle away at whatever Mouse have brought into the fray.
Nico really wants to get involved. You can see him aggressively pushing Longhouse there, looking for that fight like he did when he was on the T side. This is going to be a struggle here as well. There goes Dennis. Chris J's going to drop down as well. B, it's only Nex on B right now, and he may go down. No, there's a great scout shot. He's got 9 health left. Needs that headshot, but Cajun B is going to steamroll over him now. Nico's managed to take down Zipnix on the far side of the map, but I don't really think that'll have a huge impact on things happening at B now, because it's just got B with, of course, the 5-7 that try and do some work. And Device will shut him down. Nico, the last man standing, has had such a fantastic game, but he's gone cold at the worst possible time, and there it is. Team Solo Mid do prevail against Mouse Sports, who honestly did push them quite far.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to close out then 16-13 as I do return to my seat. Yeah, that was swift. But yeah, so that one ends with a bit of a kind of... It felt like we lost Nico towards the end. You made the point. He did stop fragging, but I mean, you can't tell him off. He's sitting at the top of the score with 25 frags. The absence of frags was coming from GodB, but that's no surprise. He is always one of those in-game leaders that kind of sticks to the original idea of an in-game leader, which is someone that does kind of usually have to pay with a loss of frags for that in-game leadership. There are a couple of exceptions currently in the form of Happy primarily, I'm thinking of, but... Yeah, that's going to be a tough one for Mouse, because they really could have done with that win so far in the Pro League.
Really telling sign as well when we saw GodB set up for the mid to B defense against TSM pushing on that one. He went for the box spot in CT, but straight away Zipnix straight to his head. Yeah. He knew exactly what was going to be happening there, and maybe a lack of variation there for him as well. A little bit too predictable, Mouse Sports, but it does seem like they struggle to really close out those rounds if Nico is not doing damage. And TSM read that well. They stopped pressuring long. They stopped pushing on towards A. Their B rounds all all worked really, really well. Even against the 3-stack that Mouse tried to put up, it seemed like there was no response from the Germans.
Yeah, really, really, though, the redeeming feature of this game was just seeing how the double AWP setup from TSM played out. Really just pleasurable to watch. Like, we were just calling it, and the round we even highlighted it, we saw 4 of the 5 frags coming in from those 2 AWPs, Device and Cajun B, just fragging on either ends of the map. So really good stuff from TSM, and we're not done with the Danes just yet. Dignitas were about to be making a showing up against Fnatic straight after this. Stay tuned.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Intel Extreme Masters. Delta Times babysitting against it. Oh, it's beautiful. Exists. 2 kills could never be so important.
Gonna go for it behind the fountain. Kerrigan's just gonna charge him down. He's gonna miss quite a few pistol shots. Kenny F. One kill, and then he gets the second. Kenny F. punches the round.
There's the second kill. Are you joking?
My name is JW.
This is Maniac.
I am Shroud and I play ECS.
And I play on the ECA. And I play on ECA.
Hello and welcome back to the ESL ESEA Pro League once again. We've had a good evening so far of CS, seeing TSM pick up the win up against Mouse in a pretty damn close game over on Dust 2. Now we have to see how the other Danes fare up against an equally difficult opponent, Fnatic, quite literally the top 2 teams so far in the Pro League, and indeed in a lot of people's world rankings, not naming any names after that debacle, but we are going to be hopefully seeing what Dignitas can do in a Fnatic that so far haven't been having the best track record. It's been like, what, 10 games and everyone's kind of said it, like, from Fnatic saying, oh, we're not happy at the moment. We're not performing at our optimum.
Yeah, I mean, if Fnatic is saying something like, oh, we're on like a massive losing streak, 24-0 or something, it was
rubbish.
Not actually. I mean, in official matches, they're still picking up games, but I think what they're saying is that against like top 5 teams or the top teams, they're sort of losing these games. It's not been ideal for them there as well. I mean, and now this map is Mirage, of course, our third on the night. We've only seen Fnatic play this one about 8 times officially in 3 months. So hard to say what we're going to be expecting from them right now. But I mean, the knife round's just around the corner, so we'll have to see what they produce.
Yeah, it's going to be intriguing to me as well. I mean, the last Mirage game I remember Fnatic losing, and of course this isn't the most recent one, but the most kind of surprising one was the game against CLG, where they basically had rehearsed it and practiced it so much that by the time it came to Mirage, like the 4th time running against Fnatic, they just completely had like an answer to everything. And if anyone was ever looking to kind of play against Fnatic over on Mirage, that's a game to watch. As now Dignitas are about to put all their hopes into Pimp for their side choice, and he's down to 35. And Pronex laughs at him, just slices him down. And so Fnatic do have their choice of side then coming in to this best of 1.
Right, let's see what they go for here as well. I'm definitely keenly watching Dignitas here. AZ has had some good games in recent times as well. Yeah. And obviously we're always looking at Schneider and constantly getting, I guess, indicators of how he's developing and how he's sort of fitting in. Of course, that's putting Pimp in a position to pick up the AWP now as well. So big changes for them, to be honest. With just one player coming in, it does actually shake things up.
Yeah, I mean, and Pimp being such a proficient rifler, it does mean Dignitas are in this kind of sticky spot where there is a lot of times when you would want to have your best riflers and your AWP in play, but you just can't. Yep. And now let's see how this one starts off. Does look like we're going to be seeing quite the B presence from Dignitas. Just MSL actually lingering over towards Z to maybe, just maybe, lurk a couple of frags out, or maybe just distract a couple of Fnatic boys further down the line.
Yeah, it's MSL actually the only one with the grenades here as well. He is probably trying to sell something at A. He's throwing a fair few through, and this has drawn 4 players from Fnatic to A.
Look at that. That's beautiful. The bait and switch, and now Pronax is going to be all alone. He's going to be hunted down like a rabid dog as they look to take him out of the running. The rotate is on, and actually, oh dear, this hasn't gone fantastically for Dignitas because Fnatic, they're already there, and the frags are going to start coming in.
It was a super quick rotation actually as Pronax takes down Schneider, and only AZ and Pimp are left here. Pimp doing well. He gets 2. Nicely done. Straight towards the heads of Olafmeister and Pronax. Pronax did get tagged up a little bit by Olaf there, which didn't help. Crims has a kit, and he has a dream. He has a goal at least as well to get this one defused. He does go to AZ. Oh, Pimp gets the 2. Big shots in towards him, but he's going to jump on that bomb. Only 5 seconds left, and Pimp must act quickly. He doesn't think he has a kit. He's not going to go for this one, and Fnatic will get the defuse. Pimp did not back himself in that situation. The second guess always comes back to bite you in the butt.
Don't be a tit, buy a kit. Crims is evidence of that as he does pick up the first round with the defuse. That's, I mean, the first question surrounding this, for that round there was, what on earth? How did Pronax survive so long? He was kicking and screaming right until the closing seconds of that game. Really good to see how he survived against 4 Ts, just hiding around short, keeping these angles and options open. As the second round from Dignitas is going to be rather minor, no armor to be seen. It's going to be a Kevlar-less round, just a Deagle and a couple of P250s then for Dignitas into this one.
And straight in towards underpass as well at the moment. Looks like they're trying to control mid as much as they can. JW trying to drop down, and Schneider will be able to pick him up. That's a Famis going over towards Dignitas now, but Flusher trying to get some long range mag 7 action going in towards Connector. Going to get some damage, but not going to find some kills. But Pimp, sharp as you like, takes down Olafmeister. Fnatic down to 3.
Yeah, now we're going to get a little scared for Fnatic. Pronax is probably going to be doing the Pronax flash, I have no doubt about that, as they are starting to scurry potentially towards his location. Nope, turn around, Bright Eyes. They are heading over towards A. It's going to be Pimp and AZ then, who are the ones going to keep them locked in on mid. It's very important to have a mid presence with a rotate like this because it does make Pronax's options rather limited. He's most likely going to be walking straight into a trap laid out by Pimp. I say trap, I don't think Pimp's expecting this. Oh, he could make noise picking up the weapon. No, that's a dead Pimp.
Yeah, that's it. Pronax backed himself enough to push around that corner and secure the kill towards Pimp. Dignitas are making very slow moves on towards A, and there's Crims getting the kill on towards MSL, holding beautifully there from Ticket Booth, and will just take a little bit of a step back. Schneider is also tagged up very, very heavy, down to 23. Pronax doing work as well from short. Great job from him, 2 in the bag, and Flusher will finish the job with the mag 7.
What a round from Pronax as well. That could have gone so differently if he had been taken out by Pimp. One frag could have made all of the difference, but no. After the initial little bit of a mess, we did see Fnatic stabilize quite nicely off the back of their in-game leader. 2 then to 0 into the start of this one. Dignitas now equipping themselves back up to the 9s with their AKs. And intrigued to see actually how they choose to format this one. We've seen them put a whole lot of emphasis on middle, and it looks like this round is no exception.
I'm loving Pronax right now. He's played a couple really, really good rounds. But Dignitas and look to try and take control of minutes. MSL out in front does have an AK Flusher, quickly switches away hastily maybe, and goes get taken down. And now JW trying to flash out, trying to hold position now, looking towards Kirby. He's up at Palace, and Kirby's too sharp as well. Fnatic are losing these aim battles. They're just 1v1s at this stage. They've managed to lose 2 players in the process. MSL super low. AZ now the man taking point. He's pushing straight through, and Pronax responds. He is inside jungle, and he's getting pushed onto by Schneider as well. He had to reload, but Schneider, Swedish man, will be able to clean him up there. It's just Crims left.
What's your plan here, Crims? Smoke has locked him out, and I think he's going to be quite happy to just back away and save this one. Dignitas playing this beautifully and actually managing to get away with the majority of their players still kicking, at least so far, unless Crims goes absolutely nuts and doesn't look like it's going to be happening. Instead, he's just going to go ahead and take stock in the kitchen. And this is going to be a nice response from Dignitas into that 3rd round, picking up the win and picking it up efficiently. Nope, that's another rifle down, and Skierby went hunting. I don't think anything else is going to come of that, especially considering he's just going to smoke his way. Oh, tell a lie. Schneider. Ooh, beautiful from Grim. Just keep himself safe and sound. Keeps himself the kit and the rifle. Oh, not last second. MSL gets it. I do get excited when you see these hunts go down. It's like a little bit of Hunger Games-esque as they all start converging on that one weapon. But no, it's going to be a very nice round for Dignitas, and nice and early on as well.
First couple of rounds are quite close as well, so Dignitas a little bit unfortunate maybe not to or to only have one in the bag. But look at this, messy buy here. JW has an AWP, the rest of his team going for pistols. He does have armor as well, gets the double in mid. That's ridiculous. AZ and MSL, see you later, gentlemen. And that is now 3 players left for Dignitas to try and work on towards this one. Pip just trying to hold it together. He probably is quite shocked about what JW just managed to do.
They lined up for him, and that AWP investment is most definitely going to be justified now, as hunt does continue from Fnatic in this round. They've got rifles now, they've got frags, and Schneider's wondering where it all went wrong. Now JW is going to be going down, not going to be finding his 3rd of the round. The bomb, though, is in the grasp, the clutches of Olof, and I think Schneider's well and truly aware of it at this point, as he just really, really wants to bring this into a 1v1. That is his mission at this point. He's got time, there's no denying it, and there's no denying that he could most definitely go for it here, as the one Swede of Dignitas goes up against 2 counterparts.
Had he had the bomb, Schneider would have quite easily been able to turn this into a 1v1. As a T player, you always have the potential to do that. You can fake going to a bomb site, or just go to another one, I guess, and try and keep your opponents guessing. But now he's got to do it the old-fashioned way as he heads down and towards underpass. Olofmeister is above him in ladder room. Crims is also watching from mid, so he will be watched as Schneider does come out. He's looking for Crims though as well, and if he can catch him here, it'll definitely be to the detriment of Fnatic. But nade towards mid, and there's a good poke from Crims just to pick up the kill nice and clean.
Great stuff there from the Fnatic guys, and we are going to be seeing then a quick turnaround, straight away putting Dignitas back in their place, courtesy of JW's W, followed up, of course, nicely by Olof. You can see them here. Look at them, just straight up. Could not be more lined up. They're doing the Macarena into mid. Jeez. And AZ and MSL having to pay the ultimate sacrifice into that one. Now, though, let's see what Dignitas have got for us. 2 rifles thereabouts, an AK and a Galil, and then the Armor Tech 9s to follow. That does suggest one thing and one thing only. That is going to be quite a heavy presence towards B, at least to start this one off. They could be turning around to mid through underpass. Doesn't look like it, though, as they are setting up for some smokes and flashes, and are going to go for a B execute.
Pimp actually went for the AK here as well. This is just a muddle buy here from Dignitas, and I hope they can put it to good work now. As Pronax is going to be jumped onto by the entirety of Dignitas. That's Kirby to secure that one, and Olofmeister is smoked, but will still take down Schneider as he crosses, and he'll push up as well. JW also contributing here, and Pimp will be responding. Bomb is planted though as well, and Olofmeister has to work his way in from the outside, but Pimp there does get his second. It's a 2v2.
This is just a trade fragging tutorial. Every single frag has been traded out. Maybe Flusher could make an exception. He does indeed, because now Crims is on the hunt. Never mind, AZ does it. Oh, and he does one better. Takes Crims down as well. 2 frags in the round. Pimp was the one responsible for another double. And that's going to be a very crucial round for Dignitas to keep the gap small. Very nice to see Dignitas just bringing 2 rifles in and thriving in what was otherwise a very testing scenario. Pronax not doing well on that hold, all because of that flash. You saw him doing the, the Pronax flash towards B-Apps, but because he was blind, he peeked delayed, and he went down with no damage.
Dignitas really taking it to Fnatic right now. This is impressive to see. They didn't even bother trying to sell some sort of fake here. Now, the buys aren't perfect, but look at Fnatic. They're all stacked towards mid for some reason, and Dig are going for B.
This is going to be a wide open site, and they're going to be wondering where on earth the welcome party is. It looks like it's going to be a bit of a late one, and it could be a surprise party considering they're all pushing right from behind, coming through this exact back from whence the T's did come. And it's going to be AZ who I think's starting to cotton onto this idea. Schneider is going to be the one making the call as he's getting a heated exchange towards the stairs, and it's going to be just the 2 of them making all the necessary frags. Flusher and Olaf then left. Flusher did find the head of MSL, but that's pretty much all he's going to be given, I think. And Dignitas picking up a much-needed, tidy 3rd round. This is the problem against Fnatic, is you can sometimes see teams fall. Hang on.
Wait a minute.
No kit, no problem. Just for a second, I had to check. I was like, wait a second, he's not running away. But no, we are going to see Dignitas pick that one up, and relatively cleanly.
That's right. It wasn't a full buy for them as well. They had a Tech 9, I think, and an MP9 floating around. So now this is enough for Dignitas to, well, try and secure themselves. But yet again, economy's still not their friend. You can see MSL is able to get an AK for himself, but it had to come from another one of his teammates. But Fnatic again going for an eco,
yeah,
or at least saving.
That's going to be a second one in a row then for them. I think Fnatic are going to try a stack. This time it's going to be a stack towards the A site. 4 members all training their eyes on towards the ramp, and oh, look at those nades. They can do more damage, more harm than good. Then again, Flusher does find Kierby, not too far off the second as well. Easy, fortunately, avoiding that one as look as Pem just goes bouncing into the site, bounding inwards, and now Crimson Pronax have managed to bring this into a 2v2. This is potentially posing a threat, especially considering Schneider's health.
Fnatic have made this messy now, but there's a lot of flashes coming towards Pronax as well. Double Molotov to try and deny him position, but he's already up on stairs. The smoke is still there, but he has an opportunity at least. Olafmeister was kept away for at least a moment. He obviously has an AK in hand. Very much a danger player right now. But the bomb is down. AZ back into the corner. Looking towards stairs, maybe if anyone's going to jump across, and he's going to be able to pick that one up. A bit of a spray comes out, but he'll be able to secure that one. Grabs himself another AK. Why the hell not? Saves in the reload time. Going to be juggling those ones as he's going to throw a nade towards Olafmeister here. Does hit him quite nicely down towards half health. The spray. AZ gets it done. A little bit of clown work there as well. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, get AZ to the circus. The AK juggle is real. 3 frags for him, and it was Schneider who picked up the other 2 as those deadly duo got 18 frags between them so far in this game. Very, very nice to see those 2 fragging as much as they are. The the other side of the coin is, of course, the other 2. Look at them, MSL and Kierby being rather quiet. Just 1 for MSL so far in this one, and such a potent player as well. When everything is going his way, he is a force to be reckoned with. So far, though, not the case. And actually, we are seeing Pronax go for a very fast push on the CT side in towards Palace. He's looking like royalty. No, just the 1. Schneider does nip that in the bud, and now it does look like Dignitas are about to try and pick up off that pace.
That's right. They're still going to work out from the T-ramp as well, or back away. That's the question. AZ actually going to hand the bomb to Schneider. He will go and try and continue to sell this A effort for Dignitas right now. You can see them moving away. Will it be enough? Just a little bit of a spray through the doorway. He's actually going to be paying dividends. It's just Olafmeister right now at B. But look at the bomb. It's been left back in spawn, and Dignitas are still not committed. If AZ can open something up at A, it may still be an option.
Now, the question remains is where on earth do Fnatic just what's Fnatic's read on this one? It's Flusher who's been given the responsibility of middle. That smoke's going to aid their cross if they do want to try and challenge out. He's keeping his eyes on underpass as well. He's definitely been kept guessing, and so are the entirety of Fnatic. They've got a kind of 2-2 split at this point. Flusher being that backup player to Olaf on B, even over an A. He's very flexible at this point, and it does look like Dignitas have drawn Flusher actually towards the A site. AZ's front rotated as well. This is going to end up as a B hit, and I think they are moulding Fnatic like clay in their hands.
Yeah, I mean, with Flusher obviously not able to see through connector and JW over at A, it's just Olafmeister to deal with, but he's going to hold his ground now. Kirby goes down first. Olafmeister now peeking on towards the side. He gets a second. AZ drops the bomb. He's loose. He's looking for Schneider, but Pimp will still be able to shut him down. Flusher through the window, though, on towards Pimp now. 1 player left for Dignitas. Has been a great hold by Olaf, and Fnatic now will build off that.
Yeah, this has been kind of brought home by Olaf there, just going crazy with the AWP, and now he does have the location of at least 1 of the 2 Fnatic members. No hope. The bomb does go just so close to going down, but no hope for him. Not even going to get the extra money for his team. And Fnatic keep it level. 4-4 going to be the score here in this best of one, and it's great to see Crims residing at the top of the scoreboard as well, considering a slight underperformance developing for him over the past 2 days.
Fnatic able to just put a stop to those 3 rounds in a row that Dignitas managed to score. This game is really being ground out, though. Very much a slow affair. Both teams just really taking the fight to each other now, but Dignitas opting for this B. They've got 3 AKs to work with. They've got a couple of smokes as well. Flashes are there, and so is Armor. Pronax now, will he be caught unawares this time? Up on truck. A little bit exposed position for him there, but the smoke does obscure a lot of things. Pronax, though, can see through the smoke. He jumps away. The flash comes out, forces him back in towards that forest spot. Olaf Meister takes down Kirby. Now a flasher as well set up in shot. Pronax on towards AZ, and it's a great hold from Fnatic. Dignitas falling by the wayside. MSL is able to at least get one, but Flasher is there. Back and forth, but still 3 up for Fnatic. Dignitas have not traded into this effectively at all, but Pimp can still get it done. To a 1v2, but Olaf Meister is there. He will shut that down. 2 for him for the round.
Olaf Meister's B-hold with that AWP has been astounding these last 2 rounds. And actually those 2 very successful rounds for Fnatic has led to a very shoddy economy for Dignitas then, as they're going to be forced to just rock the pistols in this one. Now Fnatic have started to kind of show Dignitas why they should avoid B, and that was a big playbook. That was a big page of their playbook for Dignitas. So far, you know, they found a bit of early success on B. Now it seems that Fnatic have adapted quite nicely, and they're going to have to think of something different coming into their next buy.
Flasher going for a scout here, so money isn't really brimming out of Fnatic's pockets at this stage, and Dignitas even worse off here. No armor, no nothing, just some pistols here. Let's see what they can do. Pimp will manage to take down JW, but Chris will be awaiting that push, a double for Pimp. Does find some heads there, and he clicks them perfectly. Flasher jumping up, trying to get some scout kills, and everyone's finding each other's heads in the strangest ways. Pimp with 3 for the round. It's a 2v2 situation. This is possible for Dignitas, and Pimp is going huge. He's gotten 4 now. Olaf Meister has an AWP. He has a bit of armor, but not a lot of health. And there's Pimp getting himself onto that M4. That's the ace from the man, and what a huge round for Dignitas to have brought back.
Just charging into the side with just pistols. Absolutely astounding to pick it up against Fnatic, no less. The one kind of absence of a rifle was the scout. You'd expect that to shred through the unarmored assault, but no. And that's going to be a big blow to Fnatic. Straight back to the Stone Age for them it is, as they are going to be sitting and residing about 2k apiece. Now it's just going to be CZs and P250s for them to work with into this next round.
This is why grind is a word that occurs to me right now. Just tit-for-tat rounds coming out here. Dignitas winning a round they really had no business being involved in there. It was all about Pimp getting him through it. But here's smoke through mid, and MSL, 3 players actually in mid here for Dignitas right now. Schneider over on B, Kirby just giving A tickle at the moment, just trying to keep Crims occupied. He's going to be slow about his movements here.
Yeah, Crims did get brought down to 32, and Dignitas actually going surprisingly aggressive, knowing what Fnatic's economy may be, not too cautious and not too paranoid about the corners. As it's going to be a couple of exchanges favouring MSL there. Pronax and Olaf are no more. And Dignitas desperately trying to do this as neat and tidy as they can, and so far so good. AZ and Kirby on the hunt towards Crims. They find him, and now the last man to stand and fall, it will be Flusher, as Dignitas do just put their nose in the lead.
Exceedingly clean anti-eco there for Dignitas. And look at the scoreboard as well. Fnatic also just grinding this one out
look
together.
At the grind. You can see, look at the order in which those rounds have been acquired. It's quite literally 2, 1, 1, 3, 2, 2. Back and forth, these 2 teams brawl. And it's a pleasure to watch.
Well, I mean, Dignitas, they have some high flyers, of course, in Pimp and AZ right now. Kirby and MSL have had quiet ones, but they've definitely been doing their job, and they must continue to do it now. MSL will be lining up this one here. That should be a great jungle, I think.
Yeah, actually just goes on the other side of Connector and enables you a little bit more of Connector control. JW just gets smoked out, though. And Flusher, I like this hold. He is going to enable him to kind of catch some close tees. It's going to be AZ then, whose head, does get quite... Oh, it's a very blind Flusher. No! No cigar. Olaf does catch him, and MSL quick to bite back. Flusher is the target of his affection, and now a very low health Pronax does evade the flames and continues to hold steady on B.
Olaf Meister there, after some uncharacteristic shakiness, will be able to pick up that kill towards Pimp and leave only 2 on Dignitas. Fnatic with guns as well. They've got a lot to work with here, and Kirby asking questions of A-side as well. He's just there pushing through, doesn't have the bomb. That one is in the hands of MSL. He's trying to make his way through, but Olaf Meister trying to catch onto him through Connector. Olaf goes down to 7 points of health. But here's JW and Crims as well. The cavalry has arrived towards A. The bomb is going to get there as well. MSL the one with it in his hands, but JW is going to dash his hopes and dreams in a second.
Oh, now he has just 2 points of health. It's 7 health versus 2 health. 1 bullet will win this brawl, and oh my lord, he could have very well been caught out with that drop, and now one tap of that P250 could bring Olaf down.
Cheeky.
Be very nice. Gets the nade to land besides Olaf, and the bomb, of course, is going to be causing problems. All right, Observer, we're aware. We're well and truly aware, but it's good to see that Kjaerbye is going to be able to recover himself. He managed to get away with both the M4 and a little bit of armor between him and Crims and JW.
Dignitas have money here at this stage, so it's not imperative that the save is made, but Kjaerbye understands that he wants to go for that AWP there, able to pick that up, get some more value. Of course, with only 2 points of health, he'd be crazy to really go for too much. But here's Fnatic. They're able to buy, at least for the most part anyway. And as I see Dignitas in the same position here. Very much a back and forth affair here as well. I'd be interested to see now if the second half is going to bring us any sort of greater performances from either of these teams, because it's just a slapfest really at this stage.
Pimp on the AWP. First time for him in this game. I want to have a little look what he can do in this. As so far, Dignitas haven't put too much effort into emphasis towards that, and there's no kind of surprise there considering what he has been doing with the rifle, sitting now top of the scoreboard with 14. Olaf's about to walk straight into Schneider. That's good for Dignitas as AZ does the same. In the meantime, Crims just pockets a double over towards A. He's been fantastic on this A-hole, but Pimp's nade changes that, as this is going to be now JW's turn to fall. Kjaerbye responsible. And now Pronax on the rotate. He's been so good on B. Let's see if he can do it over on the opposite side of the map. Quick flash to delay him. The bomb is not going to be going down anytime soon, though, because that bomb's locked out on ramp. Pimp backed away into a corner as well. Pronax is exerting a whole lot of force with his utility here.
There's almost no point in him poking stairs because the smoke narrowed it down. There's only one place where he could appear from. Dignitas are going to be watching that, but there goes Pimp, the 1v1. It is a kit in the hands of Pronax here. I don't think he's going to be trying his luck, though, as well. Fnatic still quite close in this one, as Kjaerbye will obviously get the plant down now. He was maybe expecting a rotate, wanted to put himself in a central position, did Pronax. He's got more health here, and he does find the head. Beautiful stuff from him as well. Always, like you can see, as the tactician for Fnatic, the cogs are always turning in that man's head, and he's played that very smart.
Very, very nice from Pronax then. 2 very important frags, and it's going to be causing problems now for Dignitas. 7-6 gonna be the scoreline here, and Dignitas already, I feel like 6 rounds acquired on that T side here on Mirage is an achievement in itself. It's very good that they've managed to kind of find a way, find a route into Fnatic's defense, and they're going to be very happy with that one. If they could add an extra, or even 2, they would be most definitely in good terms to make this a very competitive game on their defensive side.
JW going towards me, trying to channel some of that magic. He does pick up MSL. Successful push for him now. Let's see if he can get another one. All Flash will be able to contribute. There goes JW, cutting Dignitas down. The glass cannon build from the man coming out quite nice. And only 2 for Dignitas left after that slaughter in mid.
Okay, Pimp and Kjaerbye then. Got 5 members to find. It's not looking like that's for certain, but Kjaerbye starts to find some hope. Just the one. He didn't have to pay too heavy of a price either, as that could be a second. Oh, we get caught out, but fortunately Pimp's there to babysit and to ensure his teammate's survival. Does catch a glimpse of Olaf towards there's a second one as well. Oh my god, how is he still breathing? He's going to try and keep himself safe in the smoke. They know he's there. The bomb's going in as well, courtesy of Pimp. And now 3 members of Fnatic are locked out. Make it now all onto Pimp, as he is going to try and hunt him down. He is in trouble, and Pronax is the one to bring him down to size. That's going to be the 8th for Fnatic, and I mean, I started seeing little glimmers in their eyes that could have been an incredible 2 versus 5, but Fnatic are the seasoned veterans and are not going to let rounds like that slip away.
Kjaerbye really pushing his luck there. You see how aggressively he came in towards that connector. Smoke was there, but the Olafmeister spray down did eventually claim him. So Dignitas, they're up and about it as well. You can see that they're definitely feeling reasonably confident now as well, holding Fnatic so close. And yeah, as you said, 6 rounds T-side, great stuff from them. They have the guns, at least for the most part now, to maybe make it a 7th here, and they'll be happy going on to CT in that situation. Schneider only got a Tech 9, but Pimp takes down JW, the man. When he gets his AWP in his hands, as good as he is with a rifle, he's such an important pivot right now for Dignitas as he wreaks havoc in mid.
Yeah, taking down JW is no easy task either, so taking that very strong AWP presence down is only going to force it into the hands of Olaf, which is still not as easy as it may sound. Olaf does get the frag. Nice from him, as it is going to be now a level battle. 2 versus 2. Olaf's low, though. And oh, Schneider's lower. Taken down.
Pimp now with the AWP. 1v2. Olafmeister is down to 21 health, and Pronax is also fairly low. Have a look at this as a boosting towards mid. So a bit of an unexpected angle possible here for Fnatic. As Olafmeister will poke jungle eventually. Dignitas, I mean, Pimp, sorry, should I say, none the wiser, and Olaf is going wide, going back through CT here. The bomb is still loose, and Pimp has to go over towards that one now. How can he set this up to sort of be safe in both directions? I don't think he can. He doesn't know that Olaf is going to be coming from this direction. He hasn't really looked, and Olaf can just take his time, line it up, make the set shot. Fnatic goes 9-6 at halftime. Only towards the end, to be honest, where we're really starting to see Fnatic show some of that Fnatic magic that we're liking to see. Shaky in a lot of ways as well, and JW still not really hitting his straps the way he would like to.
Absolutely, that was good from Dignitas. I think 6 is something they can work with, something that especially they can build on. I'd be concerned if they'd kind of gone any less than 4, but that's something that's malleable for the Danes. But Fnatic too, going to look to establish early dominance up against Dignitas, team that are no stranger to a bit of a kind of not the word choke and the word tilt. As soon as they get the kind of a taste of victory, things can fall out of their hands quite quickly, and we saw examples of that over at the major qualifiers. But here we go then, jumping into our second half then of our third game of the day here for the Pro League. And let's see how Fnatic choose to structure their assault.
It's been a couple of weeks since Fnatic have played this map, and last time it was Envy that beat them 16-6. So they're hoping to, you know, make their short return to this one successfully. But AZ just straight through the head of Olafmeister with that lovely USP shot, and smoke down for him as he will cross over towards A now. Fnatic going to come out from this one. JW getting tagged up only very slightly. He's going to go straight towards AZ now. Going to try and take that distance advantage away from him. Bomb's going to be planted right now. Pimp does take down Flusher. Back and forth. Kirby on towards Crims. JW still chiming in. Gets his second now. Looking for a third. Will he be able to connect? No, it does look like MSL just able to back away with a slither of health. 2v2 actually, 2v1 now. Schneider managed to deal with JW. Bomb is down as well. Pronax with it all to do.
Yeah, and MSL just needs to stay alive. That's his mission. Oh, he's failed it, and now very well could go horribly wrong for Dignitas. Pronax gets 4 as he takes Schneider's life away from him as well. Everything was coming up Dignitas there. They all picked up the early frags. It was looking very, very temperamental for Fnatic. But then Pronax, who is residing right at the higher echelons of the Fnatic scoreboard, 16 for him. It's great to see him both in form, but also picking up 4 frags in that round.
And essentially denying Dignitas the opportunity to level the scoreline as well. Great way to hold on in a pistol round that, again, he had no business winning, but somehow he managed to keep his wits about him and get it done. Really great stuff from him now. MSL really aggressively pushing towards underpass here. Olaf has been alerted. He's going to go head-to-head with them in just a moment.
Yeah, that's the problem with that flash. I always kind of raise a couple of questions with that fast flash, because if they're not pushing, you don't want to go up those stairs. You've just made it very clear your intentions. It's very obvious that there's something coming up that staircase. Instead, though, we do lose MSL early.
AZ also falling foul of the smoke, covering over that connector. And Fnatic looks like they might actually make a rotation back towards A. They'll leave Olaf at B, see what he can drum up, see if he can rile up the natives, as it were. 4 Fnatic players now going to make their way towards T-Ramp. It's going to be AZ, and it's going to be Schneider to meet them on that site. Just Deagles for Schneider and AZ at this stage. Not going to be easy with a full force of Fnatic pushing towards them as well. Powerful they are, the Deagles. There's not enough bullets to deal with all these Fnatic players pushing towards them. Still, AZ gets 1, but JW and Olafmeister now making their way through. Olaf with his second now, and it's just Pimp to try and make something of this mess.
There goes 11, and that's just the power of the pistol.
Olaf with 4 that round.
You just shredded through the unarmored dig. Excuse me. The point I was going to make was that in an interview we were talking to, I think it was Devilwalk, and he was saying that if Pronax is at the top of the scoreboard, that means Fnatic aren't, like, the fraggers are underperforming. Don't think Pronax is overperforming, just think that everyone else is underperforming. And I think, you know, you can take that with a pinch of salt. I think that definitely Pronax is having a fantastic game. But we aren't seeing necessarily everything we wanted from JW. Say that, though, he has just found AZ very, very quickly, and now Fnatic are going to start to flood into the site. Another eco for Dignitas, though. It's going to be that scary double eco, which is going to put 12 on the board for Fnatic, potentially.
This is starting to look pretty dangerous for Dignitas now. Schneider just chilling out in CT here as the bomb is almost effortlessly planted. AZ trying to make an early push towards Palace and create some sort of opportunity. Did not work out yet again. Pimp getting dinked straight away. He's forced back around the corner. Fnatic have the utmost amount of control over this map, and it's just Dignitas are sitting back on this one now. I don't really know what the plan is for them right now. Flasher is going to dig Schneider out quite easily, and Fnatic all over this one like moss on a rock.
Righto. It's going to be just Kirby and Pimp. And now they're so low. This is just going to be a question of how long it takes before we lose them. And there it is. I mean, Fnatic secure 12. Now we're starting to see the Swedish hands start to close in and start to get quite a tight grip on the neck of Dignitas. They are going to be going into this buy, though. We are going to be seeing Pimp invest in the AWP when it is available. Intrigued to see if he can seize as much mid-dominance as we saw early from JW. And from there, where do you build? Fnatic have been, hitting A quite heavily, and it doesn't look like this round is going to be any exception. Fast, quick towards Palace, then trying their luck at ramp a little later on. But look at Dig.
Yeah, absolutely. Dignitas now looks like they're just spread out. Actually, a lot towards B at this stage. There's just Kirby and A. And the problem with that is there's 4 Fnatic players that are there. Olaf Martin's going to be able to smoke up mid. And here's the push. Very, very quick. But Pimp was there with York. He takes down Crims. Just in from jungle there as well. I think he got a tag towards Flusher, but Schneider is getting involved as well.
This is alright from Dignitas. We are going to be seeing JW throw out a nade to connect on towards Kirby. That's the only damage done, though, so far to the Dignitas boys. And Schneider's doing so much damage of his own. Now, just JW and Flusher, and they've got so little health to work with. It's just a matter of time now before Dignitas close in.
Easy now making his way up from T-Ram. JW's just sitting in the back corner. He will eventually drop, and it's just Flusher who's, well, he's gotten himself the heck out of dodge. And this is the sad part about it. I guess it's a shame that Dignitas lost the pistol round in the way that they did, because on a 9-6 map, losing that pistol, then being so far behind now and having so much more of a climb to make. But now, the first time we're seeing Dignitas properly with guns in their hand, and this is what they've been able to do with them all game. What a clean buy for them as well. Just Kirby that actually fell.
Yeah, and that was down to JW's kind of tag and nade that brought that frag home. Now, though, we are going to be seeing Fnatic fully equipped for this round. Intrigued, I think, is the word to see if they change it up, not heading towards A so quickly, as we are going to be seeing them spread their numbers. 2 to B, 2 towards middle to some extent or another. And AZ's the one who's been given the responsibility of middle alongside Pimp and his AWP.
Crims and Olaf still want to see if they can create something in mid as well, because Pimp has sort of taken the bait. He's gone aggressively in there and a little bit more vulnerable to peaks from top and mid. Ooh. But so far, JW might challenge him here, an underpass, and Pimp gets the better of.
He is just holding at the top of that ladder. He can hear players. He's going to be finding 1, maybe 2, as he does so much damage to Crims. Not enough, as he's still thriving with 12. But Dignitas, they've done a whole lot of damage, and they've managed to keep and stave off this early presence from Fnatic.
So AZ was always ready for Crims as well. Now, this is a really dangerous position for him. He's got the bomb in ladder room. If he commits in towards that crow's nest, I guess that mid window, AZ will be waiting for him. That will really make things hard for Fnatic now, having him with the bomb. So we'll see here. Maybe go towards B via short, but MSL will be waiting as well. Tries to get some spray down. Picks up Pronax, but Crims is still up. Forcing a rotation now from AZ now. Flash towards that B side. AZ got to hold it on his own for now.
Crims is low, and that's nice. Does finish what Schneider started not too long ago. Pimp does the same onto Flusher. That's 2 now in a row for Dignitas. They're going to have to do better than that. They're going to have to continue to build on that in order to close this gap. And Fnatic, you can see, well, being highlighted there by Observer. No outliers so far in the frags. It's good as well to have that absence of the real bottom fragger, the 1, the 2, the 3. And now we are going to be jumping back into the action to see if Dignitas can add a 3rd in a row here on Mirage.
Fnatic going for a bit of a force here. It's not a perfect buy, but it'll be enough at the moment. But Pimp, he does get the tag actually on towards JW, so that's going to hurt as well. Molotov straight towards mid window. Fnatic want to deny Pimp any sort of foothold here, but Schneider's going to be in ladder room yet again. Flusher sees a little bit of AC, but won't go for it. Schneider through smoke. He's going to play it right next to him, but he can't quite find him. I don't think he's connected to any of those. Now Flusher is going to come barreling around the corner, but the USP is going to be enough. Unfortunately, MSL steals his teammate's thunder by killing him there. What a great play by Schneider to hold Flusher back.
MSL just kind of completely nullifying that frag, but taking his teammate out as well. That's one of those ones that's going to come back to haunt you potentially. But still, it is a 4v4, and does look like JW could potentially cause a threat from jungle. He would have to make noise to do so, though, from ladder. Kirby deep on ramp, and he's going to be the catalyst in what could be a very strong Dignitas defense. They are anticipating it, though. It's going to be 1, not 2nd. That's traded out nicely by Crims.
Not terrible. Fnatic are pretty beaten up at this point now. Still, Pimp is still able to hold here from this ticket booth or down on CT Ram. Fnatic flash in. They want to go for this one. And JW has still kept himself towards the middle of the map here. So I'll be interested to see how this plays out. As MSL might cross, but here's Pimp. Ready for Crims. Crims is going to show, but there's a flash. Perfect timing from the man.
MSL's got away with it. He jumped straight on down to connector. Finally, JW catches him as he was hightailing it towards the A site. With the bomb now down, and Dignitas' hopes of a 3rd consecutive round have been dashed by a very nice late round from Fnatic. JW's just going to jump straight on into AZ's arms, and now it is just 2 he needs to find.
Fnatic going to be sitting back on this one as well. Crimson CT. Olofmeister would love to get this one. Definitely make money a bit more of an issue for Dignitas here, but he's playing safe about it. Flash comes in towards him. AZ goes for the fake, and this has brought Crims up, but AZ manages to take down Crims. There's not going to be enough time. AZ has a kid. Will he go for the real one? Whoa, there is Olofmeister. Times it well, pokes out and gets the kill.
Yeah, good read from Olof. He knew that the time was going to be just a little too narrow for AZ to fake it out a second time. And now Dignitas fall into that trap of the eco. They're going to be considering what they can throw together. Pimp has enough money to throw pistols at everyone. I think that's exactly what he's going to be doing. Yet 5-7s for all, he says, as there are some pistols laid down. We are going to see what Dignitas can do. Let's not forget, over on that T side, that Pimp round, the ace with just a P250 at the start. It's a rarity, but Dignitas have done it before, and they have got a relatively good read here. 3 players. Oh, I was going to say 3. Now 2 taken away by JW.
Another aggressive push from AZ to Palace being dashed. Kirby now sitting right back in this corner here, and Fnatic with 4 posturing towards the A side. It's going to be Crimson JW up in Palace. JW looking to add to his total, and that's Schneider just harassing Olofmeister in mid. Pronax may even make the rotation around just to pick him up, and that might open something for B as well for Fnatic now as Pronax stalking towards that player there. Schneider not ready for Pronax as the bait was good from Olofmeister. There goes an important player there for Dignitas, and they might be able to make a move towards B. However, JW gets another pick at A, and it's just Kirby and Pimp left to do it all.
I don't think there's going to be much more success for Hound. Pimp did have his Kevlar and he kept him alive till the last man. Fnatic keeping it neat.
Disappointing times for Dignitas here. I mean, this game could have been so much more from them. It all started, of course, with the pistol round being sort of stolen out of their grasp, and they've been unable to actually put together consecutive rounds in this half. Only 2 rounds for the half for them. And, well, it's been a while since we've seen them here. We must get this one here. Been able to buy.
Wow, look at that. All 5 members of Dignitas on 0. That's not something you see every day. They've completely invested into this round, down to the decoy. As now Pimp draws first blood. JW down, do the same is Kirby, but that's going to be stopped by Flusher. Quick exchange now, which does leave Flusher with very little health, though. 6 points of health left for him. And it does seem that Fnatic have kind of message received from Dignitas on A, and they're going to be backing their hell up back towards T-spawn, maybe leaving a lurking Olof to do damage. Hang on, AZ.
He's going to be looking for something here. Might find Pronax. Pronax aiming that corner quite nicely, and the crosshair placement wasn't quite there for the man. You can see the Dignitas don't have a lot of smokes or flashes here to work with. Their stall potential severely limited by their financial hardship, but there's Pimp always chipping in at the right time. Olofmeister will drop, makes it the 3v3. Now Pimp looks in towards Connector. MSL also might be able to get some crossfire here. He'll check ladder room first, and he'll establish control of mid. Crims not poking either. MSL getting away with murder here, getting inside that ladder room. Gonna poke this one. Crims was there though. Did see him. Took down to about half health, but really, Dignitas need to keep these players alive right now.
Nice. Use of their Molotov and smoke to completely lock Dignitas and rather Pimp out of kitchen as the bomb is going to be going down nice and safe for short. Crims is going to be the one to hold from short. Schneider's going to be the one to try and take him down. And he does. That's actually huge because that gives him access to that short area. Flush is low as well. This is a doable round for Dignitas, but it doesn't look like they're willing to go for it. As you can see, Pimp hightailing it over towards A. And they're just going to kind of bow down and let Fnatic take the 15th.
They want to keep it all in Pimp's hands, clearly. We'll see what the man can do with it here. And yeah, not challenging this one, not trying to let a flight of fancy take away their only chance at maybe bringing this one back or at least to an overtime here. So Fnatic will go to 15-8 here. It is an interesting decision. I mean,
that's an on-the-fly decision as well. You have to make that, especially, you know, Flush went down. But especially when you make, like Schneider, for example, getting that early frag, the opening frag that would have, I mean, if there was still 3 Fnatic members standing, understandable, but I don't know. It does, of course, mean that they're going to have a bit of a better jab at this final round to try and take it into overtime, but they've got such a challenge ahead of them. Now, Fnatic have picked up 6 so far of the 8 rounds played here on their second half. We are still seeing the AWP in play, of course, preserved. And it does look like it's going to be going towards B. Maybe a fast peek on towards short. It's good, though, considering the bomb and Fnatic are coming that way as well.
MSL stacked towards short, actually. They might be more interested in taking mid away from Fnatic, so this could work against them if they sort of get caught out of position. MSL only has a deagle in hand right now, but here come Fnatic, but Pimp takes down one. He's going to be just inexorably trying to hold that spot, but JW doing work on the other side of the map. There goes MSL, the man with the deagle. He drops down, back and forth, back and forth. Schneider gets one. Now Fnatic, well, they wanted to push their way in towards underpass, but I think that HLT, that Go TV glitch. Might mean the game's over. We'll have to keep going though. 3v2 situation. Fnatic only with 2 players right now. Crims getting very, very low there, but manages to win that challenge against Schneider. Very plucky play from the man, and it's just Crims.
2 to find. Pimp and AZ has the bomb, which does of course make his job and little journey a little difficult, or rather a little easier, excuse me. But 25 points of health to try and manipulate the 2 remaining Danes. 45 seconds to do it. It's most definitely not looking likely, as he does just continue to hold in underpass. I think Dignitas and truly are aware of where he's going to be coming from, as they both train their eyes on Connector. This means only one thing for Crims. And it looks like they're going to be seeing another round on the board for Dignitas. Oh no! Oh no! Okay, easy! Woo! Sigh of relief for Dignitas, as that's going to be 3 in the round for him. And both of them presenting their backs to Crims. That could have been a disaster. Instead, we see the 9th for Dignitas.
So bizarre. They were looking towards Connector so earnestly, and they just checked top and mid. Very, very strange there, but luckily Pimp still will get to keep his AWP, I believe. That was maintained by AZ. Dignitas get themselves a sorely needed round there. The first in the last 4, but let's see what they can do. AZ, aggressive push towards mid here. Pimp trying to work out from mid window as well. It's 1-for-1 right now as well. It's all about Fnatic right now. They're doing serious damage. MSL trying to make his rotation towards short, but no, Kirby goes down. It's just Pimp. It's just MSL as well. Now to try and hold on. Pimp, a key piece for Dignitas goes down, and MSL will be the last man standing, and he is in deep trouble on short.
This is going to be the end for Dignitas. They made such a good effort, a valiant effort on that first half. The second, not so lucky, and Fnatic are going to be picking that one up. 69, the final result. Big plays coming out from the Swedish side. Good to see Fnatic kind of holding form on that second half. And we are going to be seeing them pick up another win now. That's going to put them on 8 wins over on the Pro League already.
That's right, and if you're Dignitas as well, you just you sit there wondering as well, especially about what could have been, especially after losing that pistol round going into the second half, after honestly a very good first half on that T side, but it seems like they had serious difficulty with holding Fnatic at bay. Some of their players also definitely woke up. JW getting in the mix, Olafmeister consistently fragging over the course of the match. It didn't have to just be Pronax pulling out these strokes of brilliance, but that pistol round for Fnatic truly was a catalyst for their win.
Yeah, I think you're right. Those first 3 just started making that number look a little too unobtainable. It was like 11 at one point before Dignitas started to mount some sort of comeback. So, with that said, Dignitas are not out of the woods yet. They've got another game to play. It's going to be a tough one as well. Mouse Sports will be their final opponent for the evening, and our final game of the evening. Intrigued to see if Mouse Sports can kind of build off of what we saw from them against TSM. A close loss against Team Solo Mid could put them in good stead for our final game, guys. Stay tuned. We're bringing you our final game of the ESL ESE Pro League after this.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Intel Extreme Masters. Delta Times to babysitting gets it! Oh, it's beautiful! Exists. 2 kills could never be so important.
Gonna go for it behind the fountain. Kerrigan's just gonna charge him down. He's gonna miss quite a few pistol shots. Kenny X, you want to kill, and then he gets the second! Kenny X punches the round!
There's the first kill. There's the second kill. Are you joking?
My name is JW.
This is Maniac.
I am Shroud and I play ECS.
And I play on the ECA.
And I play on ESC.
listen to this. Bad boy. Come on.
Welcome back one final time to tonight's CSGO extravaganza. I'm Alex Machine Richardson. He is Mitch Leslie, or Mitch Ubershouts Leslie. Excuse me. We still haven't casted that much together. I'm still having to, perfect your Mitch Ubershouts Leslie.
That's fine. Normally I lop the shouts bit off for
Uber.
when I refer, but then
Excuse me.
I can't have it on Twitter because there's a massive
That's to be fair.
called Uber. So
I can relate to you now because I used to be called Machini by people, and I had to purge the Y off my Twitter because of that very fact. Yeah. Okay, I'm joined by Mitch Uber Leslie. Do excuse me, and we are going into our final game. It's going to be a cracker. Mouse up against Dignitas, and Dignitas. A lot of people suggesting Train is one of Dignitas' stronger maps at this point, which is intriguing. And I was recently digging over a couple of statistics, and in the last 8 times they have played Train, they've won 6 of them. So only falling foul to like an overtime game over against Titan and one other game against Hellraisers. So far, expecting good things from their Train.
Well, specifically also against Mousesports, their opponents for this game. Dignitas have won 4 out of the last 5 of their matchups. However, they were all within 6 rounds, so none of them were blowouts. Quite a lot, actually, with 16-14s. A lot of people sort of on HLTV and stuff like that are saying this could be another really close one between these two. But last time on Train, it was actually the older Dignitas. So when they still had Nico in the lineup as well.
Nico, without Schneider as well, yeah. So that's a good point to make, especially considering how there has been a bit of a change dynamic, I think, already in Dignitas. Their play looks different now with Pimper occasionally, and I think occasionally is the buzzword, picking up that AWP. Great to see him picking up that crazy round just in the previous game as well, going for that eco ace, which Mitch lost a couple of lungs about. Fantastic plays from him. But it's time for us to go into our final game, guys. It's going to be knife time between Dignitas and Mouse here on Train.
Now, of course, both of these teams have decent T-sides on this one from what we saw. It was actually Dignitas who managed to put up the 8 rounds on T-side first and then managed to sort of snowball the rest out to a win. Mouse's T-side actually, as I correct myself, struggled a little bit after the first 4 buy last time these two went together. But I mean, lots changed as well. I don't want to read into that one too much here. Just some stats for you guys at home. Kirby is also one of the highest performing players for Dignitas on Train in general. So keep an eye on him as he gets 2 in this 9th round, but it's not enough. Mouse will be choosing sides.
Having that choice of side can be the make or break situation sometimes for Train. But, yeah, I mean, so far, especially even yesterday, we saw the power of T-side Train. A lot of people, when it first was reintroduced back into the pool, were I mean, well, let's be honest, they were saying it, but we were also seeing a big bias over into the CT side. But as teams have played it, as a lot of more people have got their hands on it, and things have developed, strategies have formed, and a whole lot more smokes have been learned, T-sides have got a little stronger, a lot more potent as of late.
Yeah, it was actually Navi's T-side that allowed them to triumph over Envy as well on this one. Very important part of their victory here, so that's something well worth keeping in mind, I feel, now, as we do await that pistol round to come around. Yeah, I mean, so it'll be interesting to see. I mean, in Mousesports in recent times on Train, they've won 4 out of 10 of their last games on this one as well. So there you go. There's something to definitely be going on. Be thinking about that as well. And Mouse also sort of now blooding themselves against this higher tier opposition as well. I'm looking forward to see how this one plays out. I think I enjoyed seeing them earlier on the night. On Dust, I thought it was very good, close performance here. Whereas Dignitas, a little bit disappointing against Fnatic. They had their opportunities. Unfortunately, they were squandered. Of course, you mentioned Pimp's huge efforts, and he was a key player, but the rest of Dig didn't fire when it counted.
Yeah, and one of those players was, Kirby, so looking forward to seeing him maybe just continue to stay true to his name as a bit of a Train god. We'll see as we are going into our pistol and final game of the evening, folks. It's time to see if Dignitas can pocket a win tonight after falling flat up against Fnatic. The same counts for Mouse as they struggled. Struggled is the word I'm looking for. Struggled is a fake one, and that was, of course, up against TSM. As let's see how this one plays out. We are seeing an entire stack, all 5 about to bundle and bound in towards that B site.
A lot in back B as well. And MSL hasn't really settled his positioning here. I think he's just dropped into the get right spot, but here's a flash, here's a smoke, and here they come. MSL completely blocked off for this one. He can't see a thing. And he's going to have to wait now for people to appear behind him. He does turn around, gets some shots towards Chris J. He was also protected by the smoke because he couldn't be seen, but now Mouse, they're getting involved here. Nico gets one towards MSL. Pimp actually getting the drop on towards next, but back and forth leaves Dignitas still with 3 here, so they've managed to hold thus far, and Dennis will go down easy. Getting a nice little double there to help out his team. Kirby, the only one not to draw blood.
Yeah, that was a quick double from AZ as well, turning the tide of that round very quickly in favour of Dignitas. As they're going to be going into the second one, you expect to see a whole lot more rifles than you sometimes do here on Train because of the distance by which you want to be taking down Mouse. You do not want to be coming in close quarters with them, or at least not in force. You can see AZ is rocking the MP9. Be intrigued to see what he can do with that one. And on the other side of things for Mouse, they are coming into this one with that Tech 9 armor, as you would expect here in the second round. And looks like it's going to be taking a bit of a different shape and potentially looking to get early control of Pop Dog. That's a perfect place to take your SMG. Nice from AZ as he snatches Nico away early from the assault.
Never really had a chance, the man now, as AZ will drop back in towards Connector, and a lot of positioning for Pop Dog here by Mouse. They can safely get down at least, but it's the push out that could be dangerous. Seeing only one now next, just pushing down, I think it was. No, they're going to back B here. See what they can achieve. It's just MSL on that B site right now for Dig.
The reason the B site can sometimes appeal to these kind of second round buys is that it does enable you to get that bomb down and some extra cash in your pocket should the round go awry. And here we are going to see them attempt to swarm on in, but look at MSL. He is just laughing as he takes 3 down, and that's just onto Gob. He's desperately trying to get the bomb down, and he does so. Mission achieved. Mission complete for Mouse, and they are going to be going down to Pimp then to wrap that one up. Great plays there from MSL, the only man to finally fall, but he took 3 with him. And that's going to be a quick second.
It's not the first time tonight we've seen God be frantically smashing digits in the bomb when all hope was lost for the rest of his team. But a bit of money into the pockets of Mouse Sports. They're definitely a consolation for them here. And you can see we're getting closer to that third round. But for the most part, looks like still going to sit with Tech 9's. God B and Dennis grabbing some of their own here. Yeah, I mean, things kind of went awry for them. Just losing that 1 kill in Pop Dog. They had no confidence to push onto A from that point. And they're kind of just left with B as a plan B.
Yeah, it was very nice that AZ went so aggressive with the rest of his team not. Because he got the early frag, they started to second-guess themselves. If they'd have got control of Pop Dog and, you know, been able to peek out through E-Box and get a couple of kind of eye lines on towards Ivy, could have played out differently, but it doesn't. And now, the same round begins again. I feel like we're almost having deja vu here. There's 5 members of Mouse, again, about to try and barrage in towards B, and it feels like Dignitas is starting to read the signs a little better. MSL has already made the call and got Pimp over there. In the meantime, the players on A are just going to be kind of playing a little bit aggressively to try and gather intel and try and get a good read, but it looks like they're ready. The shots and smokes are coming out. Here it comes, on towards MSL.
MSL getting 2 now. It's going to drop over that train car. Smoke is still on his way. He's going to go through the smoke as well. See what he can get. Gobby going very low. Chris J at half health. He gets picked up. Pimp now with 2 of his own. And Pimp and Kirby there to finish things off. I mean, look, your Mouse Sports right now, you don't have rifles. Train is rife with these long angles. They don't have confidence to split up and try and push them and sort of deconstruct the map like that. So they've got to go for these stacks, but it's been a very, very good hold by Dignitas here.
Yeah, so far so good for them. Now, though, it is time for Mouse to have a little bit of extra bite to their bark, as they have equipped full armor, full weapons, and we're going into our first real buy since that pistol. The initial 3 picked up by Dignitas now, and it's going to be a question of what they can do to make an impact on this T side. Something different, it seems, as they do for the 3-2 split. 3 towards Pop Dog / B, and we are going to be seeing 2 towards Ivy.
Kirby smoke is enough to dissuade Mouse from pushing on Ivy for the moment here. He will just sit back on this one a little bit, as Mouse know how important it is that they use these guns effectively now. The T side has been important for a lot of teams, and they know Diggs is pretty good from experience, so they want to get some of their own rounds here now while they can. But Schneider will hold a pop.
Schneider trying to bait it out as well. He threw the smoke himself to try and give them a false sense of security, as it doesn't look like it's going to be taking that bait just yet. Instead, Mouse are just quite literally hitting a standstill. Just 2 of the 5 members of the assault moving at this point, and does look like we're going to probably not see a push until about the 30-second mark, as we do breach 45, and finally some legs are starting to move for Mouse.
As Dennis is still standing at the top of Pop Dog, and Nico hasn't even bothered to go for uppers here, so I don't think it'll be a B if they're running low on time here. God B has the bomb, focal point right now, and they're going to probably try and go out for A, I feel, in a moment here. You can see him just taking his time and breaking now as he sticks with Chris J. There comes the flash. Chris J already down to half health and time. It's just of the essence right now as MSL takes down Nico. He might have been trying to sell something over at A, but there's Dennis getting on towards Schneider. Bomb quickly being carried towards A, but Chris J is there. He's trying to open things up. He does not have time to work with here. Kirby on towards next, and there's AC getting involved. It's just 2 players left. Godby and Dennis. He's going to try and get the plant down again, frantically trying to get the digits done. He does, and that's all Mouse Sports can achieve with that buy.
Great use of flashbangs from Dignitas. Those 2-3 extra flashes they threw in towards the 30-second mark just completely messed up that potential late push. They tried to swarm into way, but they were kind of segregated and separated by those flashbangs. Really solid work from Dignitas, and clinched that round. An important round as well. That was the first real test since the pistol. And we are going to be seeing now 4-0 start to show its weary head. Now, what do Mouse do with this money? They could go for like the Tech 9 armor. I think that's going to be the path taken by just 2 of them, as Dennis and Godby do look to follow suit. No, finally they do catch up. I was wondering where those extra Kevlars were.
Something tells me this is going to be another aggressive push. I mean, it might not be B this time. It might try and work A. There's next, though. Taking down Schneider. Kirby, though, is there. Trying to get some shots straight down a lot the longer, those long angles. AZ and Kirby. There they are. Getting the frags. AZ with 3 this round. And next, again, just one player being left on his own. AZ gets the 4-piece from that one. And Mousesports seem to be struggling a little bit to come up with something, I guess, a kryptonite for Dignitas as well. Dig is stalling him out so well.
Well, I mean, they have had really one chance so far to really challenge Dignitas, and that's been kind of shrugged off, laughed off by the CT side so far. This is going to be their second shot at it, and they're trying something different. Dennis and Chris J going to be bringing an AWP into the fray. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Chris J and Dennis try and maybe just put 1, if not 2 of them towards Ivy and start to apply some pressure there, because it has been rather unchallenged so far by the T side. Kirby and Schneider have had pretty quiet game on that corner of the map, and it does look like Nex and Dennis are going to do just that. The smoke comes out towards them. I'm pretty sure Kirby just hit someone in the head with his nade, so he's going to have a good indicator that there is one there.
Yeah, I think that might have been just what happened there. And again, just the smoke from Kirby is enough. Dennis, through smoke? No, I think he got an angle on Nex, maybe just around the corner. Still, managed to pick up that kill towards Kirby, and that's more inroads than Mousesports have made yet this game, really. They have more control over A. Posturing towards it has got B. Isn't too far away. You can see him there. Schneider, watching like a hawk, though. Is the bomb yet to really be carried anywhere? AZ has been brought over towards an A side, and Dennis hasn't pushed his luck through Ivy yet. But here's MSL holding a really close angle towards Nico. Unexpected, maybe, as he pushed towards upper, but Nico's going to be able to take him down, and he's going to be straight on towards B, just throwing a smoke in front of him, almost simulating an aggressive push towards his site. And God B will bring this bomb if more picks can be made.
It's a big if, though. As we are going to be seeing Pimp find out another one for AZ, as all of a sudden we're back to a 3v3. This was stacking up against Dignitas, but they just claw their way back and do so quite viciously, as now Schneider could very well find 2 here if he picks around the perfect time. He has, but Godby answers that prayer. And Nex does exactly the same. Now all back onto Pimp. We saw what happened before. Let's see if he can do something special. All on his own. Does not looking likely. Nex shuts him down. That's the AWP now loose, and that's the bomb now down. Mousesports find their first.
And Dennis was just starting to activate there towards the end of the round, coming out of Ivy. He was probably there to deal with Schneider. I guess they decided to rotate back, but it's a good adaptation coming out here from Mousesports to give them that round. They got crushed trying to work B, despite the aggressive positioning of MSL up on uppers. But now Mousesports can still buy. It's a little bit thin money-wise still for them now, but it's better than nothing as they get their first consecutive gun round of the game.
Okay, where are you taking this one? The 4-1 stack, as pretty standard it seems for now for Train. You get your B player to go aggressively, try and hit some footsteps. If he does, the rotate happens. If not, you've got yourselves a nice stack on towards A. And MSL did do just that. Falls back after not finding too much information, and we are going to be seeing Mouse again. Bit of a standoff towards Ivy. In the meantime, Pimp casts his eyes towards Connector and going to be throwing out a little bit of utility to delay and try and waylay this assault. Nice from Nex. Quickly taken up by AZ, though. In the meantime, Nico's considering a push through this smoke. He would be very vulnerable if he did do just that.
Schneider and AZ have a strong position on bomb side, but they're not settled yet. They're sort of still looking left, right, and center. So Mousesports have an opportunity to take them by surprise here. But it's important to note that Dennis still trying to make things happen here against Kirby, and he's just not giving him anything. He's playing so passively. He's really forcing Mousesports to commit to trying to take over Ivy, especially after last time he went round. And now AZ heads up towards Heaven. Bit of movement here towards Pop Dog. Chris J with the AWP. Obviously, the double AWP setup is still continuing here for Mousesports, looking for something. And AZ got his eyes set on that E-box. He'll have a target in just a second as Nico is just going to poke out. It's going to be a Molotov to slow things up there, but it looks straight up towards Heaven, and AZ gets completely shattered.
Yeah, that's going to be big now, because it's considering how 20 seconds left on the clock and the bomb's still not down. Mouse still not like they're going to be falling foul to what happened before, though. This is better. The bomb's going to be going in, and he has cover. MSL finally rotating from B. Now Kirby has to try and either delay or find a frag. He's going to try and do both now as he does tag up one. It was Dennis that goes down, and oh, not good. MSL did end up pushing on his own. There was no kind of double push. Kirby finds the toes of Dennis with his molly, but it doesn't look like he's going to be willing to take anything else. No extra risks being taken. He's happy to just maintain the Kevlar, the kit, and the M4.
Mousesports now with their second round in a row so far. Not too bad from them after a bit of a slow start. Their first gun round didn't really go all that well, but this time they're playing a little bit more patiently as well. They're playing around that A side, trying to get shots in towards that one, and I like the use of Ivy as well. I mean, obviously Kirby's still untouched, but they are still holding him there. Kirby, like by definition, has to stay on that part of the map, and Mousesports are looking for overmatches elsewhere.
At the scoreboard for a second, 10 frags for AZ. We already highlighted him to be a pretty of a mad fragger and a consistent one at that. You know, sometimes you have these players that can go off. I just feel like AZ is always going off to some degree. I mean, sitting now on 10 frags, he was on 40 the last time we saw him play. Let's see then, as this one is looking a little bit different from Mouse. Nice and slow pace going to be adopted, and the only thing that Kyoe can do is sit and wait towards Ivy. Smokes do get thrown out towards Pop Dog and Ivy to try and delay. And Nico, look at that, straight away realizes that that's not going to be his ideal route, ideal path.
He'd love to tackle MSL, I think, if he gets a chance on B. But here's Kirby again, holding through Ivy, and it's actually Nex and Dennis that are positioned there as well.
Yeah, they're boosted over.
Here's a Molotov here, interesting enough, up on the B side. Nothing really to come of that one quite yet. Very much a stagnated sort of thing. MSL has actually got himself down amongst the trains here, so we won't be able to see a push coming out from uppers unless he gets a different spot. Here come the smokes to Ivy as well. They're trying to sell something to Kirby and leave Dennis in there to push through that one. Kirby's not an idiot. He's going to flash that one as well. Just hold that spot, and Dennis is just going to back away.
If AZ went up this ladder, he would get so much information, but I think the threat of being caught is just a little too high, especially considering Nex has actually now got his eyes trained on that location.
Will he check it? No.
Not likely. And Mouse are now with 30 seconds left preparing to go and give MSL a little bit of a party. He's holding that angle. He's been so stalwart on B. Pimp's there now to try and keep him holding. He's pushing straight through that smoke. This could be good. MSL's holding a perfect angle. Not going to find the second, though, as AZ didn't quite manage to make too much of an impact. Neither does Pimp. And Mouse have kind of completely claimed B for themselves. Now just Kirby standing after Gob B. Did get deleted, and Schneider's way too far away to have an impact with this bomb timer now ticking away.
Kirby fancies himself a shot at this one now, getting up and towards that spawn, and he gets a great angle on God B now, but the bomb ticking away as well. There are a lot of Mouse Sports players in connected. Next is close to the get-right spot as well. A lot of players here, a great little flank from Dennis. Now they can make this one happen. Schneider is out of the picture right now. He's sitting way back up towards Pop Dog. He's not going to go for it here. Unfortunately enough for the rest of Dignitas, and they're going to let a third consecutive round go over towards Mouse Sports. They're finding some momentum. They're finding some form here on the T side. That's another one for them.
Okay, that's going to be 5-3. Dignitas are going to try and change something up now. I feel like MSL has been kind of regularly meeting these opponents late into the round, like quite literally the 20-30 second mark. Mouse, they get a feel for A, they get a feel for the numbers. Sometimes they're finding an early head, and after that they do end up kind of residing over on B. The most of the plants, in fact all of the plants so far from Mouse Sports, bar one, have been over on towards the B site. It's the God B's kind of suicidal plant in the smoke, and now going to be seeing a very scary buy for Dignitas. It is quite literally just the save and a couple of P250s. They've made it work before, and AZ's trying to make an impact, going aggressive, pressurizing, and how is he not taking any hits? What is going on here?
Fortune favours the bold for the man. He's going to back away at least for the moment, but he's done some damage. He's pluckily moving up to take those shots here, and Pimp's the only man on A right now as well. Mouse are pressuring this one. Kirby's watching from way back in. Ivy. Dignitas don't really have the resources to defend this one, especially not with these pistols here. And see, Nico will dispatch off Pimp, and that's Kirby. Just getting the heck out of dodge, or maybe going for a wide flank. I kind of doubt it. I really think that Mouse Sports should be able to hit towards this one pretty quickly with just MSL watching. God B going for the plant. Nex is watching over his shoulder as well. And Kirby now is well and truly out of the pitch here. I'd be surprised if he really went for too much. He'll find Nico, though, unaware if he does look towards his left. Or maybe he'll grab himself an orb.
He's going to be very happy with that one, as he's just going to back away and hope Nico doesn't hunt him down too quickly. And that's a perfect shot as well, if he chooses to go for it.
Yes!
Oh, beautiful. Clips the corner to take down Nico, fortunately low on health.